Hi, everyone. I have unfortunate news. There will be no video podcast this week. We recorded it. We did the thing we usually do, but unfortunately the file that Evan recorded off of the screen, the Discord screen, is completely corrupted and unrecoverable, which is sad and tragic because Dan made some very funny faces this week, I think. I don't know. I don't look at the guy. He's just over there. Either way, I am sorry that this kind of fell through this week. Hopefully, next week we'll be back to somewhat normalcy and have different plans in place to actually, I don't know, make this work and have redundancies in case files get corrupted. We can have a better looking audio recording. We're still figuring this all out. But anyway, without further ado, here is the show.
Warning! The Stone Age Gamer podcast includes a lot of bad language. Cover your motherfucking ears.
Good evening and welcome to the Stone Age Gamer Podcast. I'm Kris Randazzo and joining me tonight is Bag of SAG, Dan Ryan.
Sorry, I'm trying to respond to my friends who are at the Phillies game and they were like, can we submit questions? I was like, yeah, sure. And then you say Bag of SAG.
Yeah. Oh, how is the Phillies game going? I'm not paying attention. Oh, good. It's 6-0.
Oh, wonderful.
Just, yeah. I mean, at least if they're not to what did they lose by 12 last night? Say it's cool. It's all right.
Something like that. I don't know. My boyfriend took my coworker, since that's what is being we're being accused of, because he buys me nice coffee. Very expensive coffee. Well, anyway, whatever. Fine.
We're cracking open the SAG bag once again to answer your burning questions. How weird and personal will things get? Get ready to learn more about Dan than anyone should, because the Stone Age Gamer podcast starts now.
Okay, all right.
Well, hi, everyone. This is episode 618. It's the week of May 15th, 2026, and welcome. For anyone new here, this is the official podcast of StoneAgeGamer.com. Dan and I talk every week about what's happening in the world of video games from a retro gamer's perspective, as well as whatever the hell else is going on in our lives. We're going to do things just a slight bit differently this time. Usually we'll jump into the feature topic, then do week-old news, then do the checkpoint. Dan and I don't have much to talk about checkpoint-wise. This week has been crazy busy for me for a multitude of reasons. And I really haven't had any time to play anything except for one game that now I am not allowed to talk about because it's embargoed until the 15th. Except I will say one thing that I have been playing. It came out yesterday, and I'm so happy. It is the Arcade Archives of Arkanoid.
Is that what's on in the background?
It is. That's what... No, that's Arkanoid Do It Again for Super Nintendo back there.
Okay.
But they did Arkanoid Archives 2 for Switch. They did for Switch 1 and Switch 2. I bought the Switch 2 version because it has mouse controls. So it's the arcade version of Arkanoid with mouse controls. It is freaking perfect. I'm so happy. I cannot even get to level 3 because the original Arkanoid is tough, especially without a spinner. But the mouse controls are like, they're spot on. It's just so hard. It's a hard game. I can't wait to put more time into it. Obviously, I have to keep playing Earthbound and the other game that I'm reviewing, but I have more time on Earthbound. The reviewing game is the embargo's the 15th, so by the 14th. So by next week's episode, I'll be able to talk about it, and I will. I have thoughts. But
I'm excited.
Yeah, Arkanoid for Arcade Archives. I think it also came out on PlayStation 5. I think. And I have no idea if it supports mouse functionality there. I don't think it does for the Switch 1 version, but the Switch 2 version has the mouse controls. I am pleased as punch. It is marvelous. I love Arkanoid. So with that, we're actually going to do week-old news first, take a break, and then spend the rest of the night answering your questions. So that means it's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everyone's favorite segment. Strap yourselves in for week-old news. Welcome to Week Old News, where we talk about all the news that was new a week ago, and boy, have we got a lot to talk about. Now, this looks like a lot, but I actually threw a couple of these other ones in here because they're the same story, but I just love the headlines so very much. So why don't you get us started off with the one that you posted?
This very first one here at the top. Polygon reports GameStop starts selling $5,000 Pokemon packs right after its baffling eBay bid. GameStop needs to raise $56 billion in order to afford its proposed acquisition. GameStop is now selling something called Power Packs. These are bundles of Pokemon cards that come in different tiers. The higher the tier, the better the chance that the pack will contain high-value cards. Look, if you buy the $5,000 Neutronium Power Pack tier card pack, and think that you're going to be one of the ones that hits the cards worth anywhere between $26,000 and $68,000. Sure. Is somebody going to hit them? Yes. Are you going to hit them? No, you're not. 44% of these packs are estimated to be worth somewhere between $3,000 and $4,000, according to GameStop. Now, what's interesting about that number is that 44% is less than half are worth $3,000 to $4,000, which is not the $5,000 it cost you to get the pack, so you're not making your money back. And they don't release any other statistics. What has happened to Pokemon cards since the pandemic is astonishing. And what has happened to the collectible card market since the pandemic?
The collectible market in general
is astonishing.
Has just gotten so much worse.
I just hate it. And now, like, GameStop is in on the scalp themselves, and if it's a whole thing. No, sir, I don't like it.
Polygon also reports GameStop CEO plan to take over eBay continues to be a clown show. Apparently, he started putting up things from the old Game Informer vault for some reason, which people hated the notion of. He's trying to sell, like, GameStop carpet squares. He got banned from eBay for, quote, putting the eBay community at risk.
He's been doing the most.
And he just wrote on Twitter, "I'm selling stuff on eBay to pay for eBay." And
I mean,
he was being interviewed by CNBC and, like, not answering questions.
I love that sentence. I'm selling stuff on eBay to pay for eBay. Like, I love that sentence in particular. It's just such it's such a conflagration of bullshit. But boy, oh boy. His stuff is still up there. Like the GameSpot reports that the page remains live with all the listings. Don't bid on any of this stuff. Or if you are going to bid on this stuff, do it with a shill account and then never pay. This guy doesn't need your money, and GameStop does not need to own eBay. It's just it's bad for everyone and everything on this planet. Yeah, I can't even, like, this isn't, we don't have the time to get into, like, all of the reasons why this is a bad idea. But, like, just saying that sentence out loud, GameStop is going to buy eBay. That should fill you with a sense of dread. Like, it just doesn't feel right, you know? And, like, whatever. It's anyway. This next
Moving
section
right
of stories,
boy,
did these all hit. Do you want to take this? I mean, I feel like this is your wheelhouse. Do you want to just read the headlines in order?
The headlines. Nintendo Life reports, the world is such a mess, investors actually want Nintendo to raise the price of the Switch 2. And also, GameSpot's version of that is, Switch 2 reportedly too good a deal, investors want that fixed. Yeah, spot on. And apparently the investors win because, according to IGN.com, Nintendo announces Switch 2 price rise in light of changes in market conditions, issues apology. What's really funny here was my realization this morning when I read this article, and I thought, Wait, the Switch 2 wasn't already $500? Because I completely forgot that $500 was for the Mario Kart bundle and the regular one was $450. I completely forgot that.
Because why would anybody not buy the $500 bundle?
Yeah.
Right, like
they wanted
you need a game to play with it.
Kart.
It's Mario Kart. It's cheaper than Mario Kart by itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what... Obviously, I hate this, but also, at least right now, I understand it, right? Like, when Sony was raising their prices a few months back, or several months ago, and Microsoft following suit, like, that's like, okay, global conditions, tariffs, yada, yada, yada. Now it's like, all the tech companies are buying every chip for AI, and now there's a shortage of parts. But everybody wants you to use AI all the time. Everything is AI, and now nobody has any chips to do anything because all of the AI startups are buying everything for AI, so it's becoming legitimately harder to make these things. That's not really an excuse, but it is at least an explanation that I can not stomach, but at least vaguely understand. I was kind of hoping that they wouldn't, because it's not like they can't fucking afford to, but whatever.
Yeah.
But at least...
But... I mean, this is what we talked about, though. Like, of course they're going to raise their prices. Of course they were. And I know we were all holding out hope that, like, maybe they won't, but of course they are. And, like...
I mean, especially if this keeps going, the world keeps going the way that it's going, yeah, that's... Everyone's going to have to raise their prices on literally everything, because, you know, yes, it's starting with the giant corporations, but... if things keep going the way they're going, no one's going to be able to afford anything.
That shit filters down, man. I mean, like when we're looking at the, and it's just this. The problem with all of this shit, right, is that a lot of it, and I know this isn't my area of expertise, but a lot of this stuff gets talked about in a bubble. Right. It all gets talked about as like, well, the price of oil is this, and that's what's affecting gas prices and that sort of thing. And the chips are this, and there's a lot of discussion in between those things that doesn't always happen everywhere. Right, because it's like, well, this is just, it's a little bit more expensive, but that's okay, and you know, or whatever reasons we want to kind of hand wave on shit, and the confluence of problems isn't always the thing that gets talked about, but it is the thing that needs to get talked about. Right, because the price of my gasoline going up to, I mean, here in New Jersey, I can't speak to anywhere else. I mean, actually, fuck it. I can speak to the city of Philadelphia, too. It's over $5 a gallon in Philadelphia, and it's about $4.60 around the corner from my house here in New Jersey. That's absurd. And that is naturally going to affect all of this other shit while prices are raising, you know, on all of these other things. And I just hate it because it just doesn't have to be this way. It just doesn't.
It doesn't have to be this way.
But
I will say that at least one silver lining here is that the price raises don't kick in till September 1st. So there's like a lot of lead time here.
There's time.
That's a couple of months worth of like, get them now, get them while they're hot, because they're raising price by $50 in a couple of months. But like, I don't know, that seems like a pretty long lead time to announce a price increase. Am I wrong in that? I feel like price increases are usually like starting next week or 2 weeks from now or something like that. They usually come pretty quick.
I feel with the most recent Sony and Microsoft ones, I feel like it was maybe a month of like lead time, maybe less. But I don't remember
off
the top of my... This
is like 4 months.
I don't think...
4 months.
I was going to say, it definitely wasn't this long, right?
Maybe they're hoping we will forget by then?
Well, I mean, I also think that's maybe not a bad strategy, right? Because, like, Sony and Microsoft have already gotten their backlash for this, for the price hikes. Now it's Nintendo's turn to be like, these fucking pieces of shit, and we'll all fucking shake our fists at them. Maybe this is enough lead time to where if they announce something, right? Like, I don't know what that thing is, like the big holiday game this year, whatever that could be. Maybe there's some like, well, you know, okay. And we're not as angry about it anymore, or maybe the world is all fixed by then, or we're all dead of hantavirus. One of the two. You know.
Could be anything.
Really could be.
You know, so adding on to that, after the console price hikes, Nintendo Life reports Switch 2 has sold just shy of 20 million units. Nintendo lowers fiscal year 27 forecast. So their sales forecasts have now been slashed because they believe that they're going to sell fewer units at the higher price, which kind of makes me feel like... It kind of makes me feel like this was more of a shareholder thing than a Nintendo thing. Like, I don't know. But I would love to have been in that room because, like, obviously we know, like, there's been reporting the shareholders wanted them to raise the price, and obviously selling it at a loss is not something that Nintendo likes to do. But also, somebody at Nintendo, I don't know how many people at Nintendo, but somebody somewhere understands that if you sell more systems, even if you do so at a loss, you can make up that money by selling more games because you will have more people to sell the systems to. So, I don't know. I mean, it seemed like there was some sort of resistance against doing this and then lowering their overall financial forecast because of these price increases. Like, you realize, I feel like somebody somewhere must have been like, okay, but if we do this, we're going to need to do this. And the shareholders were just like, I'm sorry, money. And now, money, please, now. Now the money. More money now. I don't care about tomorrow. I'll be angry tomorrow when my decisions have cost us more money down the long road. But right now, tomorrow is where I need more money. So money now.
Yeah.
And that, I think that's kind of where we are.
That, unfortunately, is just kind of the nature of shit, right? Like, you can't really separate Nintendo from the shareholders anymore.
Yeah. Because
like,
they
are what they are.
Wall, but it ain't much. Yeah, they are what they are. And,
you know,
when shareholders, at least, look, I am way outside of my lane here, but at least from the reporting that I've read, it always seems like the shareholders are just like, okay, but what gets me the most money now? And anybody else on the other end is like, well, maybe we should consider long-term profits. No, fuck you, money now.
Yeah, and, I mean, it kind of depends on the company and the, you know, but it's not great. It's not great.
Let's move on to good news, huh? Let's move on to nice stuff.
Okay.
Move on to some nicer things.
There's some nice stuff. Time Extension reports. Following Digital Eclipse's remake, Atari has now acquired the rights to one of the most influential RPGs, or RPGs, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, of all time. Wizardry 1 through 5 are now owned by Atari, though Dreamcom still retain its rights. Wizardry is legendary, right? Yeah. Absolutely legendary. And Digital Eclipse put out the package, what, a year ago? Is that what I just said?
Yes.
No, I didn't say. When did it come out? Yeah, like a year ago, I think. But now Atari has just purchased Wizardry Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord, Wizardry 2 The Knight of Diamonds, Wizardry 3 Legacy of Ligimin, Wizardry 4 The Return of Wardana, and Wizardry 5 Heart of the Maelstrom. This is super cool. I really like what Atari is doing. They're picking up cool shit.
Smart moves that seem to not be hurting anything.
They're picking up interesting IP that they seem to want to do good things with.
That is what seems to be the case.
Yeah.
You know? I guess we'll see, if this trend continues, because so far it's been like, all right, Atari made another purchase, and it seems like it's good for all parties involved, including the ones being purchased. That's pretty weird.
Yeah, but that's pretty neat, huh?
I guess we'll see if this continues. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know.
This is wild. There's two different versions of this story up here. No, never mind. It's just the one I can't read. So, Nintendo Life reports Reggie Fils-Aimé recalls the phone call that broke Nintendo and Amazon's relationship. So, there was a while there where you couldn't get Nintendo products on Amazon. It seems to have gotten kind of past it now, but
yeah,
I'm just going to read Reggie's quotes because this is a pretty wacky story. Quote, at that time, just in the Americas, I was selling 10 million Wiis and DSs a year. We're driving a lot of revenue. We had a lot of scale, and at the time, Amazon was looking to get bigger into the video game space. Amazon's mentality back then was that they wanted to have the lowest price out in the marketplace, even lower than Walmart. One of their executives called me. Well, it was a conversation that got to me after it had progressed through all of the levels of my sales organization, and essentially, what Amazon wanted is an obscene amount of support, financial support, so they could have the lowest price and beat Walmart. I literally said to the executive, that's illegal. I can't do that. You get silence on the other end, and it's like, well, but this is what I want. And literally we stopped selling to Amazon, and it's because I wasn't going to do something illegal. I wasn't going to do something that would put at risk the relationship we have with our other retailers. But it also set the stage to say, look, you're not going to push me around. This is the key. This is the way we do business. And so that's how, over time, you build respect. Jump forward a number of years, we're getting ready to launch the Switch. We wanted every retailer to participate with us and go big, and Amazon was right there at the table, supported the launch exceptionally well, but it was based on mutually beneficial approach that led to that type of strong business result. That's wacky.
But Amazon being shitty, like...
not surprising, but also like...
In other news, water indeed still wet.
Just like straight up, I want you to break the law. And then
no, I'm not saying
like,
break the law. I'm just telling you what I want.
Yeah.
I didn't say do anything illegal. I said this is what I would like. That's all.
That is just such a wacky story.
It is. This one was interesting. Ready. This one was just published today on Polygon. 4 big things Sony just revealed about the future of PlayStation. So the 2025 fiscal year just closed. That's why this Nintendo information is coming out. There was some Microsoft information and obviously some PlayStation information. One of the big things coming out of this latest round of reporting is that digital sales are fucking crazy. They have exploded. And they make up I don't know. Damn it, where was the percentage? Because I saw it earlier to the point where it was like, oh, so like it's going to be a digital only system for the PS6. Because like the percentage of digital sales for PS5 right now is 85%. As of May 2026, 85% of full games purchased on PS4 and 5 are digital downloads, with only 15% of sales coming from physical discs. Fuck. I don't love that, but that kind of tells you where that's headed.
Yeah.
The PlayStation 6 was discussed with Sony saying, we don't know when. The memory situation is causing us to kind of rethink things. There are rumors coming around that they might be thinking, and we had heard this previously with, oh god, and I think Microsoft did do it with one of the Xboxes where you could do like a pay plan for it. I think that existed. I could be way off. I might be making that up. but I'm pretty sure I remember that, like, through AT&T. There was some, like, weird bundle thing. There's rumors coming around that Sony is exploring something like that for the PlayStation 6 because it is going to be very, very expensive. They also talked about their experimentation with AI. Hideaki Nishino, the president and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment, said that, like, for example, in the new Naughty Dog game that's coming out, the Intergalactic, they are using AI to generate facial animations that are based on performance captured data, which, like, okay. Also, they're converting video footage of hair into 3D models. They're using AI to do that, with, you know, down to, like, the strand, they said, which is, again, like, I mean, okay, that's kind of like what you should be using it for, right? But where does that stop? You know, that's always the issue. But one of the really interesting things that came out of it is that I don't think it's even a question now that purchasing Bungie has been just an absolute fucking disaster. In 2022, Sony gave Bungie $3.6 billion to purchase them. And right now, they have reported a loss of $765 million for Bungie titles. And that's not what you want. I still don't understand why Sony went after the Halo team. I know they've done Destiny. I know they're the Destiny team now, and now they're the Marathon team. Like, I get all that.
No, but they're the Halo team.
But they're the Halo team, and that was an Xbox thing. It didn't make sense to me at the time, especially for that large amount of money, because Destiny is fine. It's fine. Like, we've kind of, I don't know. It's weird. It didn't make sense to me at the time, and it is apparently not making sense now. So maybe they should have called me.
Maybe they should have. I feel that they should have.
Dan, do you think we should spend $3.6 billion on Bungie? Billion? With a B? Eat a dick. 3.6 million, maybe.
You don't need a Halo competitor that badly.
You don't. Nobody wants it on the PlayStation. If they did, they bought an Xbox. They already went over there to play it. So, you know.
Any hoozles, Nintendo Life reports. Pac-Man is getting a new animated short series. Here's the official teaser trailer. It's cute. I have no idea if it's going to incorporate Pac-Mom, the dumbest character in the history of humankind.
I love the art style for it, though.
Yeah, the art style looks great. You see everyone in, like, Pac-Man Village in the beginning except Ms. Pac-Man, who they've rebranded as Pac-Mom, which is terrible.
Yeah, it's not great.
Baby Pac-Man and some other Pac characters. Yeah, this looks cute. It's celebrating Pac-May, a month-long birthday celebration of the iconic video game character Pac-Man. So, cool.
I liked it quite a bit. I thought it was a cute little
same, yeah. I really like the art style. It looks fun.
Yeah. Returning to the world of shit dicks, Polygon reports that Pokemon scalpers are even stealing Target's displays now. Pokemon fans are no better than animals, one Target team member wrote. There's a picture here in this article where the Target display, if you've been to a Target recently, you'll notice that some of their displays are themed around the store, and they put, like, artwork up on the pegboards. You know, just like little, like, backing paper, right? They're taking that from the Targets, because there's currently this Pokemon cross Target thing happening, and it has just been as shitty as you imagine it was. It's been a fucking nightmare for everybody. It's a bunch of non-contributing dickheads.
I'm going to take what I can and then flip it for more money. This is my job. My job is making everyone who isn't rich unhappy.
That it is. That it is.
Hate it. I just hate it. Like,
my job is defining the market value for the service I provide is defining the market value of a product that is not being sold. Yeah. Anyway.
Absolutely disgusting.
It is. It's just the absolute worst of humanity, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Polygon reports Valve's Steam controller is already sold out, but there's still hope if you want one. I didn't read this ahead of time. What's the hope?
They're putting, I believe there's a queue that you can currently join right now for the next time it goes on sale. Because again, this thing fucking sold out instantly. And was just a shit show, as you can imagine, for all of the reasons these things are a shit show. And
I assume that they're already being scalped on eBay.
Of course. Let's see what the eBay price is of a Steam controller. Are you looking at the article? What is the price of a Steam controller? Was $100, correct?
Yeah, which is pretty $99 for a controller.
So let's take a look. Current Steam controller. I'm trying to look for the new ones. Let's see. New low price on the Steam controller wireless for PC with original box, $300. $300, $150. Let's see what's sold recently, because that's always the best way to look at these things. Because the problem is that the only reason scalping works is because people buy it. So here we go. $214, $250, $299. Oh, here's one for $95. That one went actually, or no, that's the old one. Never mind. I take it back. That's the original Steam controller. $205, $300, like $210. Fuck you.
Stop paying these people. But you know, it's people that have the money to do it.
Or it's people that are buying them and then flipping them again. Like, it's just absurd.
Right, yeah.
It's a fucking video game controller.
I hate it.
Fuck off. Stop it. Assholes.
On the completes, and I almost put this in the strange and unusual category, because that's how shocking this story is to me. Polygon reports new Xbox CEO continues to shake things up by killing its console AI chatbot. Wow.
Yeah.
Microsoft is halting the development of its AI chatbot Copilot for Xbox consoles, according to recently appointed CEO Asha Sharma. The move comes as part of a continued business shift for Xbox under Sharma's leadership. The quote that she actually said was, Xbox needs to move faster, deepen our connection with the community, and address friction for both players and developers. Today we promoted leaders who helped build Xbox while also bringing in new voices to help push us forward. This balance is important. Sorry, I had to expand it. This balance is important as we get the business back on track. As part of the shift, you'll see us begin to retire features that don't align with where we're headed. We'll begin winding down Copilot on mobile, and we'll stop development of Copilot on console. That is crazy. Because everyone hates AI except AI bros and, like, big corporations.
Yeah.
Everybody else hates this stuff. So that a big corporation is saying, hey, guess what? I hear you, we're going to stop that, is unfucking believable, because everything else that I use, everything else that I use is always popping up with, hey, you want AI? AI? You want some AI? You want some AI some stuff? Let's AI this up a little bit, huh? Let's use some AI. No! I don't want it. I don't ever want it. And every time you close that window, it's just the next time you open it up, like, hey, guess what? AI is still here. You want to use some AI? You want it? I know you do. No, I don't.
How many times do I have to tell Google, no, I'm not interested in this feature?
Oh my God, with Google, God, I hate that, because you go there, like, do an image search or something, like paper bags. It used to be all was the first thing, right? But now AI mode is the first thing. So I'll accidentally click AI mode because I'm used to just going to the first thing, and AI looks like all, and in my head for like a split second, oh no, I almost clicked on it. Nope, I want all. I don't want AI. I don't want it at all. Get it off of my screen. I don't want it ever. Keep it the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
So this is making me kind of excited, because this is exactly what Xbox needs. After being on the bottom this long, it's like, hey, this is kind of the perfect opportunity to kind of jump in there and kickstart things by building a community and building an identity again. Right? Because
they have an opportunity to really come in and be the platform for gamers, right? Which is kind of like what their identity was.
It really was. I mean, like, PlayStation is starting to wake up a little bit, but they had been losing a little bit of their identity recently. Like, what was it? Astrobot was like, holy crap, people actually want to still play games like this? Yes.
Weird.
Yes, the fuck we do. They don't need like 35 remakes of The Last of Us. They want the things that made Sony. Like, the PlayStation games were PlayStation games. And even Nintendo is starting to lose a little, like, of course. Yeah, they're starting to lose. Once you think they're starting to lose their identity, then they give you a 10-minute warning for a StarFox Nintendo Direct that looks completely fucking bananas. So, never mind. They're still completely insane. We'll get there.
Yeah.
But yes, even they have lost a little bit of their personality in this in this current ecosystem, because, where are all the Nintendo games? Well, it looks like we're going to start getting some of that flavor soon. They've been leaning really heavily on third parties, but like we're about to get a new Rhythm Heaven. We're about to get a StarFox that looks. We're about to get a StarFox remake of a remake that looks.
Spoilers, man.
We don't get there. And we're getting Splatoon Raiders, which is a single-player Splatoon game, which
looks really cool.
I can't wait. It's all I've ever wanted was a single-player Splatoon game, because the single-player stuff in Splatoon,
the multiplayer thing,
really good. Like, I don't dislike the multiplayer, and obviously that series is bread and butter. But like a single-player spin-off, yes, please, that's for me. That's what I want. That's for me. Thank you. But yes, this is a great opportunity for Microsoft to get in there and start making a name for themselves again with a unique personality.
Yeah.
Moving
Tiff
right along,
because
we're going to be here all night.
Yeah, Tiff just messaged me that she's on her way home. She left the house at 6:30 this morning to go to work. It is now 8:33 at night. She fucking works hard. And honestly, it's about time.
All right, let's start rapid fire in this shit, because I have been up for way too long, and we have a ways to go.
Let me do it then. No, I'm just kidding. I love you. Time Extension reports the OS isn't yet where it needs to be. The full-size Amiga replica, the A1200, has been delayed. It was originally supposed to come out on June 16th. I think this is a neat-looking little console, an Amiga replica, but, delay it until it's right. That's fine.
Keep going. I don't understand either of these stories.
I don't understand. I'm gonna take the other Xbox One off, because we just talked about their AI thing. Rock Paper Shotgun reports that Valve has released the Steam controller's CAD files. Excuse me. So that you can channel your inner Archie from Balamori. I don't know what any of the fuck this shit means. And design mods or accessories for it. So the Steam controller out in the wild. We just talked about all of that. But now they have released the CAD files so that you can go fuck around on your computer and make some accessories to pop onto it, or kind of mod it in different ways that are going to make it more comfortable or have more functionality or shit like that. And there's always some cool stuff that pops up. And a lot of times what will pop up from these sorts of things will be modifications for like disabled gamers. That's kind of the thing that I'm really excited to see what people do with this. And a lot of times those files are made available for free, and you just have to have a 3D printer or use like a site and send them the files to make those modifications. And that's pretty fucking cool. I was going to say, I'll keep going because you were typing. Time Extension reports almost 30 years after its official version was scrapped, someone is porting, or masturbating, someone is porting Tomb Raider to the N64. An official N64 port was considered back in the 90s, but never finished. And the internet was like, I say thee nay. You will get the pointiest titties that have ever done tittied. And we're going to put
know
this...
there was ever a Tomb Raider port for 64 in the cards. I didn't know that was a thing. That's why I posted this story. I was like, really? There was... Yeah. I know it was PlayStation and Saturn. I just never knew it was even considered for 64.
I mean, it makes sense that it was considered, but it also makes sense why they then stopped considering it.
Yeah.
Should we? No, it's been considered. Like, I just considered it as well.
I feel like it probably would have performed well on the 64. Like, depending on when it came out. Like, if it came out even vaguely close to the PlayStation and Saturn ones, I mean...
I think it would have done well,
2
but
came out for it.
I think it very obviously would have been, like, the worst way to play it, right?
I'm just trying to think. It's hard to say. Like, I don't know enough about Tomb Raider as far as, like, was there a lot of CG in Tomb Raider?
I mean, I believe the backgrounds were, like, wasn't that at the time? I don't... My memory is fuzzy enough on the original
Tomb Raider was all polygons. Like, it was just super fucking blocky. And, you know...
I mean, maybe it would have looked the best on the 64
do better than anybody else was blocky. You want shit to look blocky, you put it on an N64. That's going to be blocky as hell.
Maybe. I don't know. All right, you take the next one.
Blockier than that. Okay, I will.
Stop masturbating.
I'm going to run
Let's go.
Never. Ever. How do you think I got tennis elbow? Nintendo Life reports Mina the Hollower finally lands on Switch 1 and 2 in just a few weeks. Mina the Hollower has a release date. May 29th, 2026. Obviously, this is Nintendo Life, so they're just mentioning Switch 1 and 2, but it's coming out and everything.
Yeah.
And I hope it does really well. Because
I'm starting
Club games, it's cool.
I'm starting to dislike how I feel like I have to buy it. Because like there's been a lot of stories coming out about their like troubles and whatnot.
Kind of a rough state, but also like, Shovel Knight was 35 years ago, and you haven't done any games since then besides finishing Shovel Knight and this game.
And then more Shovel Knight Pocket and whatever, Dig or whatever the fuck it was.
Shovel Knight Pocket Squares and Shovel Knight, the shovel.
Shovel Knight Pocket Squares sounds like a good time.
That sounds good. I want to wear a
Push
suit
Square
with a
reports
sticking out of the corner. I like that.
Just constantly chucking dirt out. Sorry, this is a visual joke for this auditory podcast. Push Square reports Mist Riven remakes officially confirmed for PS5 with full PSVR 2 support. I just thought that was neat. These seem like cool games to play in VR. Right? Like Mist and Riven? Yeah, that's the thing I want to, like, be in that world. And they're remakes and they're available very soon, and that's cool. I'm not, like, the biggest Mist and Riven fan.
Me neither.
They're fine. I just think experiencing them in VR would be a treat. I'm not gonna, but, I'll take the next one, too. Again.
But God. Then...
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
But then, you cannot claim ignorance. Time Extension reports Myst co-creator under fire for using generative AI in the Riven soundtrack released. You are complicit. Myst co-creator Robin Miller has been criticized for using generative AI to create imagery for Fangamer's Riven soundtrack LP. It's a 30-track, 2-disc set that marks the first time the game's music has been released on vinyl. It comes in a special package designed by Miller himself, who also composed the music and then was like, hey, Gemini, hey, Chat GPT, you know this dope-ass game with all this cool imagery? Generate some of it for me for reasons that I can't explain, you fucking twat. What do you do? Just pull something from the game. It's weird. It's weird. That's dumb.
It's weird and I hate it.
Yeah.
Speaking of weird, Nintendo Life reports StarFox is finally getting another game out June 2026 exclusively on Switch 2. It's StarFox 64 again! Again! It's StarFox 64 again! We don't want a new story. We can already play StarFox 64 on our Nintendo Switch with Nintendo Switch Online. We can even track down the excellent 3DS remake, because they did remake it on 3DS. Like, Star Fox 64 was already a retelling of the story of Star Fox, right? It's just Star Fox again, but, you know, new levels and stuff. Okay, I didn't care at the time. I thought it was weird, but I didn't really care. But then,
that
like,
was 30 years ago.
They remade Star Fox 64 on 3DS, and they did a pretty good job of it. And then they did Star Fox Zero, which was telling that story again, but, you know, it's as a totally different game. But at least I kind of understood, like, okay, we want to reboot the series, and this is where it starts. Okay, I'll give you this one. At least it's a new game, right? It doesn't... It's not Star Fox 64. It's the same story, but it's not the same game. This is Star Fox 64, but it looks really good.
It does.
It's Star Fox 64, but it looks really good. I just wish it was... I just wish it was new, but also, I haven't... For me, personally, I haven't played through Star Fox 64 in a very, very long time. So it's all gonna feel... Like, I didn't even play through the 3DS one. It has been decades since I've played through Star Fox 64 properly. So this is probably gonna feel pretty new to me.
I think that's probably what they're banking on, right? Of like, this is gonna feel new to people, so it's okay.
I think that's what they want.
Again.
I think that's what the goal is. They want to start. They want to hit that reset button on the series, and they want to do it in the safest way possible, so that they can then build off of that. I think that's what they wanted to do with Star Fox Zero, but they didn't pull it off because it had that bonkers control scheme, and it was on Wii U. So.
Yeah.
Already off the bat, this looks a lot better than Zero, which is really strange that Zero looks the way that it did, because, like, it was a Platinum game, and the fact it didn't look bad, but it didn't look as good as what the Wii U was capable of. Zero is such a strange game. This, on the other hand, the environments and the ships, I think, look incredible. They look exactly like I would want a Star Fox game to look like. The characters I'm of two minds on. I actually really like all the character designs except Fox. Like, I think Falco looks really cool. I like that he's got bird legs. I know some people are really pissed off that he's got bird legs. I'm like, no, he's a fucking bird. Give him the bird legs. They look cool and weird. I like it.
Time out.
Go ahead.
Because as we're watching the Nintendo Direct, Tiff is like, oh, they fucked up their legs. And I was like, what are you talking about? She was like, well, it's canon, right? That they cut their legs off and put the robot. And I was like, the fuck it is. No, and she got so angry. She was like, I don't know a lot about this shit, but I know this. And I was like, I mean, don't look it up because you're going to be sad. She was like, fuck you, I'll look it up. You don't know.
Just was like, covered this last week when Shigeru Miyamoto was like, the fuck's wrong with you people?
It's not a thing. Just because a lot of people wrote it down doesn't make it. She was so fucking mad that she was wrong. She's like, what the fuck? And then
would
she
you be
showed
mad
me
about
pictures.
being wrong
She's like,
about that?
how are you getting a fucking ankle in there? Look at that bullshit. I was like, I'm not saying I disagree.
It's a puppet. That's how
I'm just
it's stylized.
It's a frog that is telling you to do a fucking barrel roll. I can stretch my imagination that he got his fucking leg in there. I don't care.
It's stylized. That's all.
Stop it.
I
She
love
was so
Slippy's
mad.
new look. They all look really similar to the puppets. Like, that's one of the things that's making me really happy about this, is that they all look really similar to the puppets. My only gripe with Fox is that his neck doesn't seem to exist. Like, it's all really floofy, and I think that looks pretty strange. The rest of it, though,
he's
I'm
not
pretty
super
okay with.
fuckable is my issue. Like
That's
I
definitely
need
going
a
to be
neck.
a large portion of the internet's issue, is that they are not furries anymore. They look more like animals.
Yeah, and they're not super fuckable, and I don't care for that. I don't care
that's
for Nintendo kink shaming a certain fucking segment of their fandom. I honestly feel like that's some bullshit. Let them have it. You fucking kink shaming weirdos.
I think Slippy is fuckable. I couldn't even get through.
I know how you
love
feel about
Slippy's
blue
leg.
eyes, and they were like, I mean, I definitely wanted to fuck that frog, but now he has blue eyes, and now I have to fuck that frog. It's not a want anymore. It's a fucking responsibility. Did you see what they did? Slippy, what that mouth do? That's what I want to fucking know.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
No. Okay, so aside from the fact that this is not actually a new game, aside
Right.
from the fact that the character
looks
art
good.
is a little odd, I think it looks great. I wish it wasn't 64, though. I wish if they were going back and doing this thorough remake, that they were doing it to the original StarFox. Mostly because the original one has a better soundtrack, and it's not even close. The original one's soundtrack is fucking incredible. That's the music they put in the Super Mario Brothers movie, by the way, not the Star Fox 64 stuff.
Right.
The stages in 64 are really cool, but like, I want to see the Super Nintendo version of Fortuna fully realized. Maybe someday we'll get some DLC that incorporates
would be cool.
some of the Super
Like
Nintendo
if they
stages,
just
because it
keep
is
remaking Star Fox games.
like just for this right here, just take a couple of those just a couple of those stages that are only in the Super Nintendo version, and just throw that stuff in here as DLC, because since it is the same story, there's no sense in remaking that now, because it's the same thing. But if you could add it to this and just get some of that really good music in here, that's like the only thing that's missing. Because I've never really loved the Star Fox 64 soundtrack, but I gotta say, every time I watch gameplay of this is exactly, with the exception of it not being new, this is exactly what I've wanted. Because
it looks good. I really liked.
Right. Oh, the speed! It feels fast.
Yeah. I really liked that they highlighted the one copy of the game could be played by 4 players at the same time. I thought that was really cool. Like the multiplayer
Star Fox
stuff
64's
looked cool.
multiplayer was great. Oh boy, I don't know who I'm going to play it with, but I love that. That's like properly in here. That's great. I love the control scheme options. The co-op mode where one person can be a gunner and one person can be a pilot.
Fun.
That's so cool. Oh my god, I can't wait to play that. I really want to play that with John or somebody. That looks like a blast.
Yeah, that was the moment where watching this, I was like, all right, I mean, like, I'm definitely going to end up owning this, because as we're watching it, Penn, like, looks over at me, a fucking smile cracked her fucking face in half, and she was like, it's like Bonanza, we can do it together. And I was like, fuck, now I have to buy this, and I don't want to, but yeah, shit, okay, cool.
Like, seriously, when they said
good.
that it was a remake of 64, all the wind got knocked out of me. But by the end of it, I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, back in a little bit.
Okay, I'm back in, and now I've
still would
rewatched the
prefer
trailer,
something
and I'm
new.
like, as would I.
But hopefully this performs well, and then this leads to something new. Because the hope is that because this is Star Fox 64, the last time a Star Fox game was exactly what it should be from beginning to end, with the exception of it also being a remake, right?
Was Star Fox Adventures. Obviously.
Star Fox... No. I love Star Fox Adventures. I love it, but as a spin-off. As a mainline Star Fox game, this has the exact right amount of all-range stuff. It's got the exact right amount of on-rail stuff. This is what I want a Star Fox game to be. So if this is successful, and we can finally get a sequel to it...
Right.
Not saying that we haven't, right?
I mean, would you want them to remake Star Fox 2?
I don't, because I don't really like Star Fox 2.
Okay.
Star Fox 2 is more like Command. And Command's not bad, but it's not built around on rails bombastic like cool stuff. It's built on like a little bit more strategy being involved. Star Fox Assault was probably the closest we got to a proper third Star Fox game, but they added a bunch of on-foot stuff to it, and it just didn't quite work,
feel
you
right.
know?
Yeah.
And, Star Fox Zero was, again, retelling the same story, just from a very different way, but it also didn't work. If we just do this, like, all right, here's this, now let's build off of this. Basically, I'm looking at this like Blaster Master Zero, you know? Like,
right, okay.
Blaster Master Zero was kind of a loose remake of the original Blaster, and then they built on that and made okay, now let's make sequels based on this and not trying to reinvent the wheel, because that's what we need. That's what Star Fox needs. A good starting point, and then don't reinvent the wheel.
And then don't fuck it up.
Yeah, don't fuck it up.
Yeah, this looks cool.
Great.
Yeah,
this looks great.
Good job.
I'm angry and
everything.
happy at the same time. But wait, there's more.
But wait, Nintendo Life reports that the price controversy did nothing, unsurprisingly, right, to stifle Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green on Switch. Folks were not pleased that they were going to cost $20 a piece. However, they have sold 6 weeks after launch a combined 4+ million copies globally in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Of course they did.
Sure, why not? It's freaking Pokemon. Let's do it. It's not how you want it, but it is Pokemon, so let's do it.
But it's how you're going to get it.
I'm just going to rapid fire a few, and then you're going to do the last one. Takashi Tezuka has announced his retirement. I mean, of course, that's kind of sad, but dude's earned it. Like, he's old.
Yeah.
He's done amazing work over the years. Let the man retire. Like, it's okay. You don't have to work until you're dead, and I'm glad that he's not. Way to go.
Enjoy your life.
Marvelous work. I cannot wait to see what the people that you trained come up with next. Pragmata sells a whole bunch of games. Like, Capcom's Pragmata did well. It sold 2 million copies in 16 days. That's great. New IP.
That's awesome.
Go Capcom. Love to see it.
Yep.
Figure out how to do hair, you fucking weirdos. And then Guitar...
Well, they have
Hero
AI for that.
Oh, yes, of course. Guitar Hero and Rock Band veterans announced Sound System for Switch 2. I want to say this is coming to other platforms too, but this was Go Nintendo reporting it. Let me see the end of the trailer here and see if it announces other platforms. It doesn't, because whatever. So it just looks like a new flavor of the Guitar Hero and Rock Band basic formula, except it's new. So, okay. Way to go, guys. Let's try this again.
Yeah, I think that's really cool, and I think the world took I believe we can trace the enshittification of the world to when we stopped playing Rock Band and Guitar Hero. I think since then, it's been a fucking downward slope.
Maybe.
I don't know that that's accurate, but I believe it to be true.
It's true enough for me. All right, read this last weird one, and then we're going to take a break.
It was a much more fun time. Rock, Paper, Shotgun reports that Assassin's Creed... I love this. Assassin's Creed is being adapted for the theater by a former Cirque du Soleil director, offering 2 hours of parkour across several eras. For some reason, Behavior Interactive are helping.
Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We don't really need to expand anymore on that. I just love, yeah, that makes sense. Let's do that. Let's Cirque du Soleil Assassin's Creed into the fucking theater.
Yes. More like that, please. Why not? All right, that's going to wrap things up for Week Old News, and that is going to wrap up our first segment, and we're going to take ourselves a quick break. When we come back, we're actually just going to do this one more segment and do the SAG Bag. We're going to answer your questions. That's it, all night long. You're listening to the Stone Age Gamer Podcast from Geekade.com. Stick around.
Hey, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Andy. Neither of us are David Crane, but we are the hosts of David Crane's Amazing Movie Time.
That's our monthly Geekade Patreon exclusive podcast that covers movies that are cult classics, weird, or just sometimes laughably bad.
We ourselves have at least two of those qualities, so I guess it makes sense to hear what we think of those movies in retrospect.
You can hear all that and more by becoming a Geekade Patreon supporter.
And, as always, be kind, rewind.
We are Safe at Home, the leading dog rescue in the heart of New Jersey. Are you searching for a loyal companion, a dog that will bring love and joy to your home? Look no further than Safe at Home. At Safe at Home, we believe in giving every dog a second chance. We rescue, rehabilitate, and find loving forever homes for dogs in need, right here in the Garden State. Our dogs are ready to make a lasting impact on your life. Each one has a unique story, a wagging tail, and an incredible capacity for love. When you adopt from Safe at Home, you're not just gaining a pet, you're becoming a part of our family. Our dedicated team ensures a seamless adoption process, providing ongoing support and guidance. With New Jersey's beautiful parks, beaches, and trails, you and your new furry friend will have endless opportunities for adventures and cherished memories. Safe at Home relies on the support of compassionate individuals like you. Your donations and volunteer work enable us to continue saving lives and finding forever homes for these amazing dogs. Join us in creating a safer, happier community for dogs in New Jersey. Together we can make a difference and give every dog the chance to feel safe at home. Visit our website or call us now to learn about how you can be a part of the Safe at Home mission. Safe at Home, because every dog deserves to be loved and protected. www.safeathomerescue.org.
Do you miss the days when you'd get a fresh issue of Nintendo Power in the mail every month? It was stacked with reviews, previews, and all manner of cool new stuff about the world of Nintendo, and it even came with a free poster. Well, you don't have to miss those days anymore because Nintendo Force is here. Functioning as a spiritual successor to Nintendo's classic magazine, Nintendo Force is staffed with top-notch writing talent, and me for some reason, to deliver fresh new reviews, previews, and more right to your door every other month. And yes, posters are still included, except ours are double-sided. So if you want the thrill of learning all about the world of Nintendo in physical format, head on over to NintendoForceMagazine.com and learn all about it. Nintendo Force Magazine, the force of Nintendo fans. Hi everyone, Kris here. Podcast listening is free, but podcast creation is not. That's why the Geekade Patreon exists. In an effort to help us pay the bills, we've got a Patreon page set up where you can gain access to our monthly podcast topic schedule, get early access to many of our shows, and more. If you'd like to help support Geekade and keep these shows running week after week, head over to the Geekade Patreon page, linked in the show notes of this very podcast. Hey everybody, we're back. We actually took a proper break. We've just been bullshitting about baseball and stuff for the last couple of minutes. But it is time. This is the only break we're going to take because tonight we are going to do this SAG Bag. We do this once or twice a year, where we open up the phone lines And you guys ask us questions, and then we do our best to answer them. I have not looked at any of this yet. This is all new to me. So, SAG Bag, May 2026. We're doing this a week ahead of time because, we were supposed to be doing the Stone Age standouts for the Vectrex, and I have had literally no time this week. This week has been brutal for me. For a number of reasons, and spare time has just not been a thing. I'm still trying to work on that Mario history video. That was also taking a lot more time, and either way, it doesn't matter. We're here for the SAG Bag. Recording it a week early, but we still have plenty of questions to get to, I think. And,
There, we still got Trash Man's list. We could do this for the next 8 hours and fine. So,
All right,
I've got questions up on a wheel, and I can just spin them. You tell me how you want to go about it.
Well, let's do all the ones that aren't Trash Man's, because there doesn't seem like there's that many here. So let's just go through here. The first question is from Rumblemans. I believe it's for me. This is, I think, what we're all wondering is, how in the world does someone live for over 40 years eat cold beans their entire life?
Yeah, it is a valid question, you fucking monster.
It's good, okay? I don't know what else to tell you. They're perfectly good cold.
No.
It's like salsa. It's perfectly good cold. I will say that we had tacos this week because it was Taco Tuesday and Cinco de Mayo on the same day. And yes, I heated up the beans just for you guys. And yes, it was better, but not like so much better. It wasn't like, oh, this is night and day. It was like, yeah, this is better. But the other way's fine, too. So...
No. It's the other way is not fine. The other way is a way that you can eat them. That doesn't make it fine.
I will eat my cold beans if I want to. I will leave my friends behind. Because if they don't eat cold beans, my friends don't eat cold beans. Then they ain't no friends of mine.
Then they ain't no friends of mine.
Ain't no beans of mine.
You can dance.
Look. Okay. What else do you think is normal? Now, this is an interesting question. That's from P2Make28. What else do I think is normal?
This is a great question for you because you are the resident fucking psychopath on this show.
What else do I think is normal? Like, I understand that I eat white people tacos, so I'm not really going to mess with any of that because I don't think there's anything else about... I mean, obviously, that the taco meat is ground turkey. People look at me like I'm crazy for that, too. But I will die on that hill. I will admit the warm beans are colder than the cold beans. Are better than the cold beans. I will admit that.
I will admit the warm beans are colder than the cold beans. Are they? Because I think you fucking did it wrong then.
Yeah, no, I messed that one up. I will admit that the warm beans are better. However, I will die on the hill of ground turkey for taco meat. I love ground beef in tacos. It's great. I have no problem with it. Ground turkey is fucking great. I love turkey. Turkey is delicious. It is flavorful. It has the bonus of being healthier, but that's not really the reason to do it. I just think it tastes better. What else do I think is normal? Parmesan cheese and scrambled eggs. That's not abnormal, right? That's perfectly fine.
I think cheese and eggs is fine. I don't know that Parmesan is usually most people's go-to, but I don't think that's egregious.
Yeah. Sprinkle a little grated cheese in there. What else do I think is normal? Ketchup on a hot dog, that's normal.
I mean, if you're five.
There's people who think the other way, but mustard on a hot dog's great too. I like ketchup.
I like ketchup too, but I don't know. Hot dog should be like a mustard kind of thing. Sorry, I'm putting Mr. Hayabusa's sword into his hand. I'm not over here just fucking around. Now he's got a big, long sword. And it's cool.
Love to see it. So here's the thing about the ketchup and the mustard, though. it's such a different flavor. It's one of the things that I like about hot dogs is like I can be in the mood for a mustard hot dog that is a completely different flavor profile from a ketchup hot dog. And you can also just do ketchup and mustard, because that's usually what I do. I do ketchup and mustard. And that's my preferred hot dog method, is both of them. So
I will agree that's one of the wonderful things about hot dogs is that they are inherently versatile.
Yeah. They're
right?
pretty
like,
wonderful.
Yeah. Hot dogs are fucking great. 100%. I don't think you're that weird, because I've known you for so long. So maybe I'm just
You're just used to me.
Shit.
I'm sure there's other food stuff that I eat that's straight up weird, like, but I can't think of anything else off the top of my head.
You're very anti-mayo.
Yeah,
right?
But that's not that weird. I've met plenty of other people that think... I've met at least 2 other people that are as violently anti-mayonnaise as I am. My friend Melissa and my friend Frank. They are both violently anti-mayo. In fact, even more so than me. So I don't feel that weird about that. Yeah, I wish I could think of something. Rumbleman said, I have licked the spoon I used to scoop out some cold beans before. It was atrocious. I don't know what to tell you. And then Silent Storm says, what are some other foods that you think would be great as salads, only to find out they already are? I haven't gotten there yet. Right? Because I have now discovered Italian sub salads and taco salads, and they've both been fantastic. I don't imagine a spaghetti salad would work very well. That sounds terrible.
Well, and like the other stuff, because like when I hear that, I instantly start thinking of like chicken salad. Chicken salad's fucking great. Tuna salad's good. But that's very mayonnaise heavy. So like you're not into those, obviously.
And it's also not taking an existing meal and turning it into a salad. I think that's what he's trying to say there. Like, what's a food that would be great as a salad? Like,
you know what's pretty
salad.
good? Cheeseburger salad.
Explain.
Take a cheeseburger, right? Like all the shit that goes onto a cheeseburger, like lettuce. Obviously, you've got the lettuce, right, for your salad.
Right.
But then you're thinking like tomato, onion, a very
bacon.
specific, like thinking of like a McDonald's Big Mac style dressing, and then the beef, but you just kind of chop up the beef or like use ground beef instead, and throw like all the burger fixins into a salad and kind of top it with that like Big Mac style Thousand Island kind of dressing, and it works.
This is interesting. See, I don't really like that. But my preferred burger is a beef patty, obviously. So this is the thing. I don't prefer turkey burgers. I like a turkey burger, but I want a beef. If on a burger, it's a beef burger. Like that's it.
Turkey burger is a specific thing.
Yeah, it's a different can of worms. But my burger is it's cheddar cheese, bacon, pickles. Like that's what I really like, and barbecue sauce. That's my favorite burger. So when I'm having burgers at home, that's what I'm putting on it. Sometimes I'll also do grilled onions and spinach. So I don't know about grilled onions and like wilted spinach in a salad. That sounds gross. But onions and spinach covers that, right?
Onions and spinach.
Chop up pickles and a burger and shred some cheddar cheese and then just throw barbecue sauce in there? Do I do that?
I mean, you could maybe throw some barbecue sauce on that.
Instead of there's... Because like I don't like that kind of dressing, but like I want that barbecue sauce flavor. So why not just like that? It's the same consistency as a salad dressing, more or less. So maybe that could work. The question is, what is the bread component? Is it, do I
croutons?
Yeah, I guess croutons. That could work.
Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly like a one-to-one thing. Like a taco salad's a little bit more of a one-to-one.
Yeah, minus the tortilla.
It's just a different delivery system for that same thing. Like a cheeseburger salad, you're kind of altering some of the structural components of it.
So what I did with the Italian sub sandwich was that I had biscuits, and instead of using croutons, I just chopped a biscuit into a bunch of little crouton shapes, so it was still the soft bread of like an Italian sub. And that worked out really well for me. So maybe I would do, because like just doing a burger bun, that's not really going to work because the burger bun is so much more spongy, but a biscuit's thicker. So I could probably do that. That's an interesting idea. I might try that one next.
I just looked at, there's a Hidden Valley Ranch makes a sweet barbecue ranch. That's maybe an idea. Or maybe like a smoky Vidalia onion dressing might kind of get you towards some of that flavor profile you're looking for. Yeah.
Okay.
Cheeseburger salad.
I'm gonna give that some thought.
Okay. Don't do a spaghetti salad.
I'm like, all right, what's good? We got spaghetti. We've got pizza. Like, are either of those a thing? Like, I don't, because I feel like it would have to be something that also incorporates lettuce to begin with. You know,
you could do a pizza salad, but I mean, you can get kind of like, you could throw pepperoni in the salad, you can throw the mozzarella cheese, you can get some tomatoes in there. Like, again, you're more just getting that like approximation. I'm sure
but it's not going to be
sure
like
somebody makes a fucking
not.
pizza ranch. I'm positive that exists somewhere.
That doesn't sound.
The problem is that so many of these like weird salad dressings are all ranch based. I don't love ranch.
Yeah, I don't. I like the ranch flavor, but I don't love ranch because it's so close to mayonnaise to me. It's like, eh.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just over ranch. Ranch has had its time. It's time for real men to take the salads back, and real men eat blue cheese because it's fucking mold and that's metal as fuck.
Yeah, no thanks.
Sorry.
Now I'm thinking like of a pizza salad. Like, what would I do for a pizza salad? It would just be lettuce. It would have to be a lettuce and spinach blend at the very least, because lettuce doesn't go on a pizza, but spinach does.
Spinach does, yeah.
Spinach, pepperoni,
sausage.
Maybe some sausage. You throw some bacon in there, some onions.
All right, here's what would be insane, and I don't know if this is a good idea or a bad idea.
We're going to do an hour and a half on salads? Yeah.
Do I just dump pizza sauce on it as the salad dressing?
I don't think so.
Why not?
Because it feels wrong.
But you know what? the refried beans felt wrong for the salad, and then I heated them up to make them looser, and that fucking worked.
I'm Googling now. I'm Googling. I'm seeing what we've got. So all right. Now here's a question. Are we talking when we say a pizza salad, are we talking like, are you trying to approximate a New York style slice, or are we talking like a white pizza? Because now we're getting into some different flavor profiles, right?
Yeah, because if the white pizza's I'm thinking like a New York style slice, like, the pizzas that I make. Yeah, that's kind of like pizza sauce would have to be involved, I would say.
I mean, I think
if there's no sauce, I think I might give it a try. Mozzarella cheese.
I don't see why not.
Because it could be fucking disgusting, but you know what? I make pizza omelets. Hell, I've made spaghetti omelets before. That shit's delicious. It's weird. I mean, but it's
spaghetti omelet. All right, so now we're back. Like, that's weird.
It is weird, but
how did you not lead with the fucking spaghetti omelet?
Because I haven't made one in a while, but I just remembered it. And it hasn't been that long. Like, all right, so I had leftover spaghetti. Spaghetti sauce, and basically what I'd do was I'd make like I'd just make like the scrambled egg like tortilla, basically, right? You make that all flat like a big circle, and inside of that I would go a little bit heavier on the Parmesan cheese, right? Because you want that Parmesan flavor. Because when you're having spaghetti, you do Parmesan cheese. And I take the spaghetti sauce that I would have left over. I'd get like a meatball and a sausage, chop them up, throw some mozzarella on there. Not that that's really part of the whole spaghetti situation, but just because you want that melty sort of cheese involved in it. And then I had some leftover spaghetti, so I just threw some chopped up spaghetti noodles, threw that on there, folded the thing over, let the cheese melt. It's weird, but
but it's pretty good. It's not like it's something I regularly eat, but it was like, I gave it a try once and it was pretty good. People would think that my tater tot pizza is pretty weird, but everyone I've given it to has thought that it was like fucking amazing because it's potato skin pizza. It's
I mean that just makes
bacon,
sense though.
It's
I feel
really
like
good. It's one of my favorite pizzas that I make.
A spaghetti omelet feels wrong.
It is weird, but it's actually not too bad. It's not great. I don't recommend it. That's not where I'm going to be like, no, I stand by this. That's fucking fantastic. But it's like, no,
this is the hill I'm willing to die on.
I've eaten
Fuck
that more than
y'all.
once, and I don't hate it. But, a pizza omelet's way better. Pizza omelet's just delicious.
Yeah. All right.
Moving on.
Yeah, I mean, we can do another 45 minutes on salad if you want, but
clearly,
what you got?
All right, let's see here. Scion Storm asks, is there a specific price point on either games, consoles, or accessories that Sony or Nintendo could announce for the next console that would be a hard no for either of you? What, if anything, would it take for you to abandon your platform of choice in the next console generation?
So I think the answer to that is yes. Of course, there is a price. What that price is, I don't know right now. Like right now, today when we're recording, $20 is the price that like I'm tapping out at. Because that's just the world is on fucking fire right now.
That's what we've got.
Like not to put or to put things into perspective, right? Like my aunt's house is about 25-30 minutes away, right? And she wants me to go over tomorrow to pick up a bunch of dog beds and crate mats and that sort of thing and distribute them out to some people. And then she also wants me to drop a dog off to her on Sunday. And I was like, no, I'm making that trip once. Gas is almost fucking $5 a gallon right now. I'm not driving a half hour out, a half hour back in, and then the next day going to the same location, a half hour out and a half hour back in. Like, that's just fucking crazy. So right now, any price I think would be absurd. Speaking in general, though, I mean, it really depends. Like, for me personally, I feel like they've kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit here, where the leap would have to be so great for me to adopt right away, because they're still going to release games for PlayStation 5 they just announced one. We didn't cover it in Week Old News, but they just announced that the next Call of Duty is not going to support PS4. Like the one that's coming out this year in 2026 is going to be the one that stops supporting
where PS4 is done. We're getting to the end of PS4 now.
Well, PS4 now.
Yeah, exactly. 4 now. 5 have been out for years. We're talking 6.
We're talking
just
6.
Starting to wrap up.
Yeah, and we're just now getting to this point. So it's like, I mean, yeah.
It's a little bit different
all depends.
for me.
I mean, I want to say like 700 is like a hard out, but I can't imagine a time in the relative near future that I'm going to have $700 to drop on fucking anything at one time.
Yeah, for me, I think 500 was my cap. Like, I can't imagine 600 being something that I'm willing to pay for.
Right.
Like, I just don't see me having that kind of money to dedicate to a game system unless it's like, but this is Nintendo we're talking about. So if there's something so unique about it that justifies the price, and like it's going to be so different from Switch 2 that new games are only going to make sense on it, I'd have to at least consider it. But I don't know that I'd be able to justify it, because unless things in my life got significantly better than they are right now, having $600 to spend on a game system is just too much. It's just too damn much.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it really
and like you look
it's going to depend a little bit on the situation.
like the Switch 2, I would argue, doesn't have that game yet. Obviously, I bought it because I was in a position to buy it.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to play Donkey Kong as much as I wanted to play it. And you had been saving up for it. I would argue, though, that there is not a reason, quote unquote, to own a Switch 2 right now. As good as Donkey Kong is, as good as Mario Kart World is, I don't know
unless
that
you're
they...
a Nintendo fanatic. No, the Switch 2 hasn't really proven its mettle yet, especially not over the Switch 1. I mean, of course, games look better on it, but it's not enough of a leap where it's like, if Donkey Kong Bonanza is great, Mario Kart World is great, but this new StarFox looks great, but Rhythm Heaven's coming out.
But it's still StarFox
for
64.
Switch, Yeah. Rhythm Heaven's coming out for Switch. Like, we can... That big system seller, that thing that is like the Mario Wonder DLC. Like, I think that makes it moves that game up from like an 8.5 to a 9. But there's no reason that it's only on Switch 2. Like, it's not doing anything that only the Switch 2 could do. There's no reason that DLC couldn't also be playable on Switch 1. There's just no reason.
It's arguable it should have been there to begin with. Right.
Yeah, structurally speaking, like, that's a bigger conversation. Structurally speaking, it doesn't quite work the way you want it to, because it is kind of a like, well, let's fix this problem kind of a thing.
Right.
So it doesn't quite fit in, but it does kind of fix the problem. But yeah, if I wasn't a Nintendo fanatic, I wouldn't be over the moon with my Switch 2. One of my favorite things that I can only do on Switch 2 right now is play Arkanoid with the mouse controls. I know that's dumb as hell, but that's making me pretty happy. But I could have done that on my
fucking
computer.
$700 happy.
No, it's just not. So yeah, I think that's about where my price point would be. If games all went up to $80, $90, it's just pricing me out of the hobby. Especially when indie games exist, that's where so much of the creativity comes from. It's kind of hard to justify dropping tons and tons of money on the first party stuff as much as I would want it. Metroid Prime 4 I had a really good time with, but it's not that different on Switch 2 versus Switch 1. It is, but it isn't. I
still haven't started it.
I would have had the same amount of enjoyment probably on Switch 1 versus Switch 2. It does look great on Switch 2, but,
Yeah. But it would have been okay.
Yeah, it would have been fine on Switch 1.
It would have been an okay experience.
I'm also not a Pokemon fan, so that is kind of a horse of a different color.
Sure.
That's Wind Waves, Scarlet and Violet look almost unrecognizably better on Switch 2 versus Switch 1, so there is that. I didn't get into Pokopia. I don't know how big a deal that really is. It
seems to be doing well.
People really like it. It's selling pretty well. So, but again, it's outside of my wheelhouse. Mm-hmm. Yeah, good question.
2 minutes left, Chris. The Knicks are up 106-91 over the Sixers. This feels pretty much done. No team. No, I'm not even going to say it. I mean, I you know what I was about to say, but Knicks will be going up 3-0 in the series in the next 2 minutes, and that makes me very happy because fuck the Sixers. That's why.
Phillies are tied at 7 in the 10th inning, so
that's wild. That's fun.
Yeah, even if we lose, we pushed it to a 10th inning, so that's pretty cool. We were behind by so much, and now we tied it up, and it would suck to lose after that big of a comeback, but also, we're fighting back. It's not like our colossal loss yesterday, which again, I think we've ended the game at 12-1. It's brutal. All right, your turn.
A bunch of my coworkers are at that game currently, and they are all of the belief that only one Philly team can win per night. So the Sixers are shitting the bed so that my coworkers can enjoy a Phillies victory in person. And
That's very nice of them.
That is kind of them. They were like, "Are you going to the Phillies game tonight?" And I was like, "Are you outside of your fucking mind?" Absolutely not. There's a Knicks game on, and I have a responsibility to these fine people.
All right, what's the next question, Dan?
All right, let's spin the wheel and make the deal. Let's see. There's so many on here. Very exciting.
Are these all just trash mans, or are these more of the... Oh, okay, because there's still plenty more just in the regular Discord. But sure, ask a trash man question.
Oh, yeah, I'll take the trash man ones. You take the Discord, because I've got them all up. I like this question. What is your favorite ride at an amusement park or water park?
Doesn't exist anymore. My favorite coaster was Drakenfire at Busch Gardens. Loved that coaster. I rode it all the time. Loved that coaster. And it's gone.
Without question. And I have been on some really amazing rides. It is one of the only things I miss about living in Florida was that I had people that would get me into theme parks all the time without paying anything. And it was very bougie and very cool, and I loved all that. Without question, the Spider-Man ride at Universal's Islands of Adventures is my all-time fucking favorite ride. It is just the fucking bee's tits. I adore that ride so much. Have you ever been on that one? Have you ever been down there for it?
The bee's tits?
Yes, obviously.
No, I haven't been on that. Is that one of those like experience ones where like there's a movie playing and you're on chairs that go crazy and
like your cart is moving around. You're in the scoop and Jonah is yelling at you, and it's all themed around the 90s Spider-Man animated series. But it's got a really great sense of motion. It's a 3D ride, and like it just starts off with the most ridiculous shit. Like Spider-Man jumps up onto the fucking front of the scoop, the vehicle you're in, and he's like, "What are you guys doing here? This could be the most dangerous night of my life. And yours." And he like points real dramatically to like really emphasize the 3D. You're like, "Oh, he's gonna poke me in the fucking dick. Ah, that's not cool." Or eyes, that's what I meant. It's fucking awesome. I fucking love it. Like there's a bit where a pumpkin bomb is thrown, and then there's a big explosion as you're like thrown off, and Doc Ock shows up and he like sticks a big fucking power line into your car and it fucking vibrates. It's just my absolute favorite ride in the world. I fucking love it to pieces, and I've been on it at least 100 times, and it never once has failed to bring just a gigantic smile on my face. It is followed very closely though by the Peter Pan ride in the Magic Kingdom, because it's Peter Pan. I just love it. That sense of like flight and wonder, and it's just fucking great. I love theme parks. What a good question. Now let's just talk about theme parks for the next hour. Fucking Dragonfire was dope. Big Bad Wolf at Busch Gardens, that was fucking awesome.
That was okay. That was a
hang
so
coaster. Fun. You're like
was
hanging and swinging back and forth, and
it was a bit slower. I mean, if we're talking about that era, I mean, if I had to choose between Big Bad Wolf and the Loch Ness Monster, I'd go Loch Ness Monster. But like Dragonfire was my favorite for sure.
You want to know some sad shit? We used to go there on vacation, like over the summer or whatever as a family. And every time we went, my little brother and my little sister were way too young. And my stepdad and my mother, 108.94. Fuck yeah, Nix, let's go. My stepdad and my mom were way too old. So I had to go on all those rides by myself. We would just go to Busch Gardens, and I would be like, "All right, I'm going to go on the Loch Ness Monster now." And like, I would get up in line, and like I realized this as I got older. Like I would get up to the front of the line, and I'm laughing so I don't cry. And they would be like, "Oh, little boy, are you a single rider?" And I would be like, "Yes, I am, because my family doesn't fucking love me." God damn it. It was so fucking sad. I had to go on all those rides by myself. From like 9 to 13 or whatever, when I was eventually like, "Fuck you assholes, I'm not going with you, leave me home."
Well, my parents wouldn't go on those rides because they would get sick. Like my parents couldn't, like, they tried on some of the lighter coasters, but like at a certain point they just couldn't hang. But I had my sister,
didn't even try.
So Jess and I would just go on coasters until we got sick, and that was just fun.
And like I started asking, I was like, can like my cousin Ryan come with us, or can I like bring a friend? And they're, no, we're not fucking paying for them, and somebody else is going to be sleeping in the fucking hotel room. I'm like, all right, well, I'll be 10 years old and go on this roller coaster by myself. What a great fucking vacation, you cunts. Jesus. Never mind, I hate this question. It's now making me feel feelings.
Zabu asks, what classic arcade game should make a comeback? There's a lot, but I am going to say, for me personally, I would say either Fantasy Zone or UN Squadron.
Okay. Arcade game. I'm just going to say, I'm going to give like just a general, like Cruising USA, San Francisco Rush, like pick one of those sorts of things. That's still the one thing that I don't think we've really replicated the home experience to be. Obviously, you're not going to have the big fucking thing, and like you can get the big fucking thing, but it's prohibitively expensive.
Oh, see, I read it like a new arcade rendition. That's what I read it like.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
Cruising Blast was great. Cruising Blast is
give me
awesome.
like a really cool driving simulator thing. I really like those. I don't know. I'm so out of the fucking arcade scene. It's a really good question. I just don't have a good answer for it.
I would love to see a modern arcade take on Fantasy Zone. Like, that would be so wild.
That could be really cool.
And yeah, UN Squadron is just so good, and it'll never be back because of Area 88. Let's see. Zabu's got a couple in a row here, so I'm just going to follow this up. We were all in shock when Kris said he hadn't seen The Godfather. What big video game is a blind spot for each of you? Something you might enjoy, not something you have zero interest in, like GTA games. And how about movies or TV shows?
I mean, well, we're doing my video game right now, which is Earthbound.
Yeah,
that one I feel is like the big blind spot for me, gaming wise, right?
I've got a whole podcast about the movies that I haven't seen. Not specifically about movies I haven't seen, but we've covered a lot of them there. Like I had never seen Jaws, I had never seen Rocky, I had never seen Blade Runner, and we're covering those. I mean, Godfather's probably the biggest one, I think. You know, most of the other ones that come up, they're just like, oh, you haven't seen that? All right, whatever. It's just some weird movie that's not, you know, one of those big cornerstones of society. There it is. Is there a big video game that's a blind spot for me? Obviously, Final Fantasy VII, but I have played it. I just haven't played through it because I don't like it very much. I want to, but I just can't seem to pull off liking it enough to finish it.
Yeah.
I tried the original Halo. I mean, I've never played a Call of Duty, but I don't want to.
You wouldn't like it. Like, I wouldn't go so far as to... There has never been, and I know, like, I can already feel put it back in your pants, dudes. We get it. There's nothing so special about a Call of Duty that you would play it and be like, oh, I absolutely get this now. There just isn't. Like, if you don't like that style of game, Call of Duty isn't going to be the one to convince you, you know? I get it. I'm reading your comments already. They're fucking somehow already happening on a video that's not posted. Fucking relax.
I don't know. I really don't know that I can think of something else that's a real big video game blind spot for me. Like, there's got to be something. Like, I've really hit a lot of them.
Yeah,
most
you've
Pokemon
at least
games,
played.
I have made the attempt to play. Like, I've never played Pokemon Gold and Silver, but that's kind of because I haven't finished Red or Blue, and I've tried to get through Red and Blue a couple of times.
Right, and they're not fundamentally all that different. Grand Theft Auto, but you've played it. You don't need to play San Andreas.
Yeah, I have played a couple of Grand Theft Auto games.
Those, I mean, you could make more of an argument, I think, with the GTA games because, where 5 and 3 are very, very different animals while also being exactly the same fucking animal.
Yeah.
I've never played any of the Diablos.
That's true. I've never played Diablo. I've never played, like, Warcraft or StarCraft.
Yeah, I've never played World of Warcraft. I know I wouldn't like it.
Yeah,
that's just not the type of gaming that I like.
It didn't really slip through the cracks so much. It's just not something that I've been all that interested in. I want to say something Sega related. Give me a second. I'm going to look at my Sega shelf here, see if it spawns anything. You keep thinking about that. Give me like 2 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, we almost got a fucking ass crack shot there. Did you see that? We almost have to, like, maybe blur Chris's sexy, sexy ass crack from the fucking podcast. Either blur or highlight. I'm not sure which of the two. Like, maybe just a nice, like, a fucking arrow, like, and a timestamp, maybe. Like, if you're gonna, this would be the time. I mean, he's just over there looking at his games for a blind spot, looking through things he owns to find a blind spot.
I got it. It's Phantasy Star. I have never played a Phantasy Star game.
Okay.
And I have them all. I have Phantasy Star 1 through 4 at least. I've never played a Phantasy Star. All right, I've never played a traditional Phantasy Star. I did at least mess around a little bit with PSO on Dreamcast, but not much, other than a couple of minutes. But I've never played any of the classic Phantasy Stars. I've never played Wanderers from Ys either. That's another one that I've never played. Didn't really seem like my thing, but yeah. But even that's not like a huge blind spot. That's the biggest one I can think of. I'm sure there's others.
I know for TV show, for me, Breaking Bad. I've never seen even 10 seconds of it.
I couldn't get into, like, I have TV shows that, like, they're not blind spots because I've tried them, but people are like, what do you mean? Like, I started Breaking Bad. I recognized that it was good, but it wasn't catching me at the time. It was like, this is a little too dour for my life right now.
Yeah.
I've never been able to get into Always Sunny. We've had that conversation. That's just...
Yeah, that's not a blind spot for me. I just don't
for me.
like it.
Tried it. Just not for me.
15 episodes of somebody being like, all right, well, that's not a really good episode, though. I'm like, well, but it's the 15th time one of you fucking assholes has said that shit to me. That's enough. I mean, you've never watched, like, The Wire or The Sopranos, right? Like,
I've never watched Mad Men.
Yeah, Mad Men's great. Like, I think Breaking Bad is the one for me where I'm like, I think that this show is absolutely something I would love. I've just never watched it.
The Rockies are up. I mean, we still have a shot. Like, the
do I
game's
have
not
a
over.
movie? What's like the movie blind? Like, what have I just never seen? I don't know. Anyway, that's a good question. I like that.
Yeah, good question. You want to pick another Trash Man one, or keep going with the regular Discord? Pick another Trash Man one.
Wake my mouse the fuck back up. Let's see. We all know the Sega Saturn is the most underrated console of all time. What's the second most underrated console of all time? I'm going to stick with my answer for this question I think just underrated in general, and we just covered it in the SAG standouts, and that's the ColecoVision. I think that system is just fucking fantastic and doesn't get the respect it deserves. Followed, maybe, I might argue, TurboGrafx. 16.
Yeah, I was going to say TurboGrafx or Dreamcast.
I don't know. I feel like people love the Dreamcast appropriately.
But people also love the Saturn, but it's still like, it's just off the beaten path. You know, when you're talking about Dreamcast versus PlayStation 2, it's not even, you know,
Well,
the amount of
close,
fandom there. It's just not, not even close. So, yeah. I
would say ColecoVision or TurboGrafx would be my answer. There's just a lot
of... TurboGrafx 16 is, I think, is rated exactly where it belongs. Like, TurboGrafx has some cool stuff, but it's like, it's pretty niche. And I feel the same way about the ColecoVision. But like, the Dreamcast has some amazing shit on there that we know would have performed well on PS2 because it did, you know? Resident Evil Code Veronica eventually turned up on PlayStation, you know? Like, oh shit, this was a really cool game. We just sucked because we didn't want to play it on Dreamcast. I'm going to go with Dreamcast.
All right. Fair. You want me to...
Format asks,
all right, get
if you hadn't ever worked at FuncoLand, how do you think your game collection would look today? If I had never worked at FuncoLand, I don't know that I would even have a game collection today. I don't know where my entire life would be right now.
Yeah.
The entire trajectory of me collecting video games really started at FuncoLand. I may not have ever gotten into it. I may have gone all in on comic books or action figures. Like, who the hell knows?
Right. There definitely would have been something that you would have collected.
Yeah, for sure.
That's just who you are.
Yeah, collecting is just a part of my DNA. But yeah, I don't know about oh boy, now it's 9-7. I don't love that. Yeah,
I mean,
I
know like for me, I didn't work at FuncoLand. I worked at GameStop, I worked at Game Crazy, whatever. My game collection would look exactly as it does now. Because I didn't fucking keep that shit. I went hard on the digital for a little while, just due to like space reasons and whatever, and like I left New Jersey, so had I and that's really like when the purge started, when I moved to Florida in 2006. I was leaving New Jersey, and I knew that my parents were going to be leaving relatively soon after that, while, you know, we still had a relationship at that time. So I didn't have anywhere to put all of my stuff. You know, it would have been bring all of these things down with you, which I couldn't afford in the move. Like, I couldn't afford that size truck. I had a pickup with a trailer attached to the back of it, and whatever fit in that trailer is what came down with us when Tiff and I moved. And my parents were like, well, we're moving. We can't store your stuff at our new house or our place or whatever. So I would have had to get like a storage space or whatever. So I just sold off a bunch of shit. And then when we moved from Florida to Texas, we moved in with Tiff's mom and her stepdad, and we had to get rid of even more shit. Like, it was at that point where we really were like, I could take all of these PS2 and 3 games and 4 games, I guess, at that point. No, it was just up to 3 at that point, and Xbox and whatever the fuck else we owned at that point. I could take all of this with me, or I could put all the discs in a CD book and throw the other shit away. And that's what I had to do, because I didn't have anywhere else to put it.
Yeah.
You know, just couldn't come with me. Now, I wish I would have, like, been like, fuck it, I'll save all the little, like, artwork in the books or whatever. But at that point, I was just like, what do I care? You know, I'm in this mindset of I have to get rid of shit. So, yeah. Any Hoosers.
Zabu asks.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to do another one?
Yeah, no, I'll jump in.
Okay, go for it.
Do you lick the whisk/beater? Abso-fucking-lutely.
Sometimes, but usually I give it to Karen.
Yeah. Absolutely not. That's my shit.
Good question. Let's see. Zabu asks, we've been getting more and more collections lately. What collection of at least 3 games that we haven't got yet should be next. For me, I have two of them.
Yeah.
One of them, I've said it on the show many times. It's Blaster Master.
Yep.
There needs to be a Blaster Master collection. We have gotten the original Blaster Master re-released several times. Blaster Master Boy just showed up on Evercade for the first time. So it's not widely available like on modern consoles, but it is on Evercade, so at least that's something. And of course, Blaster Master Enemy Below for Game Boy Color has been re-released a bunch of times on virtual consoles and such. But Blaster Master 2 for Sega Genesis has never been re-released, and neither has Blaster Master Blasting Again for PlayStation 1, and neither has Blaster Master Overdrive for WiiWare. A proper Blaster Master collection of everything pre-Zero.
That'd be very cool.
That would be very, very cool. Another one is the Quintet games for Super Nintendo, Soul Blazer, Illusion of Gaia, and Terra Enigma. Give me a collection of those on modern platforms. I've never played Terra Enigma. I would very much like to. Same thing as like Mother 3, but Terra Enigma, and I loved Illusion of Gaia so much. I never really got into Soul Blazer, but I've never really given it a chance. So I would really like to do that at some point, and a modern collection of those three games would be great. And last but not least, certainly not least, another one of my all-time favorites is UN Squadron. I would like a collection that has the arcade version of UN Squadron for Super Nintendo, and the pseudo-sequel Carrier Air Wing. All three of those collected on in one place, because the arcade version and Super Nintendo version of UN Squadron are different enough to count, I would say. Just put those two and Carrier Air Wing, and if you have to like rebrand UN Squadron as like Carrier Air Wing or something like that, and take out the characters that are from
whatever
Area 88, whatever you have to do, as long as the game plays the same and has the same music, we're good.
Yeah, that's really all I need. I'm not actually here for the in-depth fucking story.
Yeah, I'm not here for the Area 88 content. I've never seen Area 88, and I'm probably never gonna. But I fucking love that game, and the arcade game is great, and Carrier Air Wing's pretty good too. So those are my three collections. Those are my dream collections right now.
Yeah, mine is kind of a cop-out because we had a YouTube question a few weeks ago, I think. It was similar to this, of like a limited run games collection or whatever that we would want. But it remains the same, and it's Splatterhouse. The fact that there is not a Splatterhouse collection, I find just really, really odd. And I'm not even talking that it would have to be like the PS3 360 era, like 3D Splatterhouse included. Just the three games and one pocket graffiti.
And the arcade version, and the absolutely.
It blows my mind that does not exist. I think that would sell so incredibly well.
Yeah, it's pretty wacky that Namco hasn't gone for that yet.
Yeah, it's very, very strange.
Zabu also follows up similarly. What lesser-loved classic game has something about it that would benefit from a Jaws retro-style update? My first answer is Rygar for NES.
Yes.
Not that game is as... I'm not going to say as bad as Jaws, because I don't think Jaws is necessarily bad, but there are things about Rygar for NES that are just a bit too wonky and could use like a map or something like that to really tie it together. But oh boy, just a slightly more modern take on NES Rygar would be so freaking good.
Yeah. I think for me, I think
NES collection here. Let's see.
Sticking with, I mean, it would be LJN games. It would be Friday the 13th, and it would be Nightmare on Elm Street. I think both of those games are pretty good. Friday the 13th better, certainly better than Nightmare on Elm Street. But games that I think with a little bit of love and a little bit of tweaking, you could be like, oh, there was something pretty cool in here, right? Like, we're not talking Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which is just a broken piece of shit game. We're talking something that, could actually benefit, and those games are fucking cool. Actually, I got it. Slide your ass back over here. I got it. The one that I think would need it the most. And I want to just, because I just said the name in my head, but that's not the actual title of the game. So let me actually look it up for NES. What the fuck? Werewolf the Last Warrior.
Oh boy. Okay.
Because that was originally supposed to be a Wolverine game, from what I understand. It was originally supposed to be a Wolverine game, and it ended up being Werewolf the Last Warrior. And it's pretty good. But it's also pretty terrible at the same time, right? Like, it's got some major issues, and I think with, like, a little bit of love and tweaking, that's a fucking dope-ass game. Because it's kind of a dope-ass game now. That's the one.
That's a really good pick. I am sure there's something I'm missing here. Donkey Kong Jr. math.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely it.
It's so close to being great.
How do people feel about Werewolf the Last Warrior? Am I crazy in that it's
No,
like...
I don't think you are at all, because I think there are a lot of people who think it was a good idea, but it's actually just kind of a shit game. To a lesser degree of it being a shit game, but I would really like somebody to basically just incorporate two-player simultaneous play into Bubble Bobble Part 2. That would be great.
Yeah.
Simon's Quest, and people have been trying to do it for ages, but like, how about an official... No, go back and fix Simon's Quest for us, Konami. Yeah. How about that? That would be...
No, smart. That game's perfect as is. Maybe you should just be better at video games, Chris.
Absolutely nothing wrong with that one.
Ooh, I like this question. I just picked the next one from Trash Man. I like this question. What do you dislike / despise, yet still respect?
Like, just in general?
Yeah, that just in general. I have an answer, if you need a second to think.
Grand Theft Auto.
In general, honestly, truly, I respect people who have the strength of their convictions, no matter how batshit crazy or backwards thinking or old-fashioned that they may be. Like, I don't agree with racists and transphobes and homophobes and misogynists and all of that shit. But if you actually fucking believe it, and you're going to stand on business, I at least fucking respect it. Like, come with your bullshit. Right on. I think you're crazy, and we could talk about that. But I respect people who have this just, the strength of your convictions. I respect the shit out of that, even though I despise those sorts of opinions.
Cold beans.
Fuck you. No. Don't take this thought-provoking serious question. I do not sanction your tomfoolery.
Yeah, I can't think of anything that I despise but respect.
Yeah.
The New Jersey Devils.
I'll take that.
As a Flyers fan, like, it just, of course I hate them, but also, like, I respect their game. Them. It's very different from ours, but I respect it.
All right.
That's all I can think of. Let's see. Scion Storm asks, I realize it's early in the SAG standouts, but what is something that has surprised you about it so far? The Intellivision.
What about it? What surprised you?
I didn't expect to hate it as much as I did. The Intellivision, I really did not enjoy that at all. I derived so little joy from the Intellivision, and that's not what I expected.
I think I would agree with that, and then also say how much I enjoyed the Odyssey 2.
Yeah, that's the same. I didn't expect to enjoy the Odyssey 2, as much as I did and the Intellivision as little as I did.
Yeah.
He continues on to say, same question for the Cartoon Express. I don't think anything has surprised me in the Cartoon Express so far.
I am surprised at how sad I am we haven't watched another Donkey Kong Country episode.
Right, because as wretched as that show is, that was really fun.
It made for good podcasting.
Yeah, it did.
So
it was certainly memorable, and I hope that the next episode of Donkey Kong Country, whenever it happens, can be equally as memorable.
I mean, I hope not, because I was going through so much at that time, and that's why all of that happened, but I hope it's memorable for different reasons. Let's go with that.
Just to stick with Scion Storm's questionnaire here, his third question was, if any band could cover any soundtrack for a game, who and what would it be? If any band could cover any soundtrack for a game, who and what would it be?
I would like the Wu-Tang Clan to do the Katamari Damacy soundtrack. That's what I would like.
Sweet jumpin' Jiminy Jesus. That's something. I would say
it's hard, right? Because so many video game soundtracks don't have vocals. So while I'm thinking of bands, like I would want Dragon Force. Even though I understand that they have a vocalist, I would want Dragon Force to cover the Silver Surfer soundtrack.
I would like... My headphones are dying, so I gotta switch to the wired ones in a second. But I would like... Mostly just because I would like to hear what it sounds like, not because I think it would necessarily be better, but I would really like to hear the Seatbelts cover Mega Man 3. So, while you move on to the next question, I'm going to take my headphones out and put my wired ones in.
All right, let's see. Let's spin the wheel. Trashman asks... I have so many questions on this wheel. Which game franchises have lost their magic? What was the last game in the franchise that was still good? Game franchises that have lost their magic, and what was the last franchise or game in that franchise that was still good?
StarFox.
Is the answer for all of those questions? StarFox.
Yeah.
StarFox. StarFox.
Soul Calibur.
Oh, yeah. I would say, yeah. That's probably accurate.
Soul Calibur really lost the magic. And the Phillies lost the game, so that's a bummer. I think Soul Calibur really lost its magic around Soul Calibur 2. Soul Calibur 3 was still really good, but it started to lose a little bit of its magic there because it was very into the create a character, and when you go too heavily into create a character, you miss the curated experience. And then I don't think any of the follow-ups to Soul Calibur have had the same soul, for lack of a better term. Yeah. I would like to argue Street Fighter. I think 6 is a big turnaround from 5, which I didn't really care for, but there's a personality that's still kind of off in 6 that 4, 3 was such a wild turn, but it was still Street Fighter.
Yeah.
It still had that soul to it. And 4 was just incredible. Same with the Alpha 3 was just spectacular, but
yeah.
5 really took this weird turn for Street Fighter, and it's like there's this really this 90-degree turn, at least in my mind. I will still pick up and play 4 right now. 5 felt intrinsically different, and 6 is a step in the right direction, but I think it's too modern for my tastes. It doesn't feel quite like Street Fighter. I love watching it, I love watching people play 6. I think it's fascinating to watch, but I no longer want to play it. So, I mean, you could argue Mortal Kombat till the cows come home. I think after Mortal Kombat Trilogy, once the series went 3D, it never felt the same again, but because it was not the same again. But I don't know about losing the soul so much as, like, you know...
That's about where my answer is, and it's going to upset you, but fuck it. I stand by it. Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past.
Link to the Past, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I stand by it.
Yeah, I mean, hard to disagree.
No, I know, and I'm not going to sit here and defend it, because this is... I mean, that's a whole crazy long conversation, but I have not loved a Legend of Zelda game since A Link to the Past.
Not even Link's Awakening, huh?
Link's Awakening's good, but it's not Link to the Past.
Yeah, but I would argue that it's, you know, at least in the conversation, like, it's,
I mean, probably,
you know,
but I mean, yeah.
3D Zelda games, like, I can see where you're coming from there with 3D Zelda games, but, like,
it's just not my thing.
Link's Awakening was, God, Link's Awakening is so good and so weird and such a fun creative take on it. And then you had, like, Link Between Worlds and
I mean, maybe I'm sticking with it though, just to be
Faces
a
of
fucking
Evil,
troll.
huh? I mean, come on,
What?
Faces of Evil. You're gonna tell me Faces of Evil is not Wand of Gamelon? These games did not bring you the same joy as Link to the Past? I just don't believe you. I think you're being disingenuous, sir.
You're just doing this just for the podcast.
Yeah.
You fucking dick.
I mean, there was a time when I would have said Mario 64 was, you know, just didn't. But they've
certainly course corrected.
Yeah, they've certainly course corrected with, you know, Odyssey and Galaxy and 3D World. Bubsy. That's been a good Bubsy since the first one.
Stop it.
I mean, does Donkey Kong Country count? No, because
As
they've
its
course
own
corrected.
thing?
Tropical Freeze, you know, Tropical Freeze and Returns. Like, I didn't like 3, but then Returns and Tropical Freeze have been great. So, no, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. I would have said Sonic the Hedgehog, but then, like, Sonic Mania happened, and that was great. But then I don't think there's been a good one since. So that's kind of there. I
mean,
yeah, good question.
The show's been average the last couple of years. So much so that I haven't purchased it because it's just literally the same fucking game with little to no improvement. I mean, they highlight all the fucking improvements and then it's just the same fucking thing.
Yoshi's Island.
Bums me out.
Yoshi's Island. Yoshi's
there
Island.
You go.
I mean, I'll say Woolly World. Woolly World, I think, was the only sequel that was even worthy of being a follow-up to Yoshi's Island. I have not liked any of the rest of those. Yeah.
Mega Man X.
Oh, God, yeah.
Like
the first one was great, and I didn't like any of the rest of them.
No.
Unos11 asks, my little man is about to be 13, so think he's old enough to go out on his own Pokemon adventure. How do I talk my wife into letting me kick the kid out of the house so he can go into the wild world of animal fighting and homelessness? I just don't think you do.
I think he just played dumb.
Yeah, just... No, he chose this on his own.
Where's Timmy? Weren't you watching him?
It wasn't my turn to watch him.
I think is the way you go with that. Where's Timmy? I mean, where's your responsibility, you mean?
I only have a couple more questions here, and then we can close out with one or two trash mans, and then we should probably call it a night, because we've been at this for a long time.
Sure.
Unos11 continues on, fuck, marry, kill, Bubsy, Echo, or Jar Jar Binks.
I mean, yes. All of them. Fuck, marry, kill, Bubsy, Echo Jar Jar Binks.
All right, fuck Bubsy, for sure, because I don't want a relationship, but, sure, he's sexy. I would marry Echo the Dolphin, because Echo's just a dolphin. Like, you can say what you like about the game, but there's nothing wrong with the character of Echo. It's a fucking dolphin. Dolphins are great. I would like to spend the rest of my life with a dolphin, and I will kill Jar Jar Binks in a second, because he's fucking awful.
No, I mean, fuck Bubsy. Absolutely. Chubsin for a Bubsin.
Very fuckable.
But definitely kill Echo, and I guess I have to marry Jar Jar, and I'm okay with that. I hate Echo the Dolphin that much.
Unas 11 continues. Good answers, by the way. What is the worst game you guys played this year and the worst game you've ever played?
Oh, man, I don't... Let's see, what have I played this year? So actually, no, Man of Medan. I did not fucking care for that game at all. That was the super giant or super massive, the story-driven games, which I usually love. Man of Medan, boy, did that game fucking fall flat for me. I did not care for it at all. The worst game I've ever played? Man. Is it Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? I had to have played something worse than that.
That's
Caveman
my go-to
games?
answer. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is my go-to answer, because I don't think I've ever been quite so offended by a game in my life.
Yeah.
I'll never forget playing that over at my friend Adam's house. And just being like, you got to see this. First off, the title screen music is ripped right out of Rygar. That's weird. And then you just play the game like, what the hell was that? Runner-up, though, would have to be the Back to the Future NES game. That was fucking wretched.
Oh, I don't hate that game. I mean, I hate that game, but I don't hate that game as much as
I
like
despise that
Cheetah
game.
Men, fucking like all that shit. Abbott.
I don't think I've played any bad games this year. I don't think. I can't think of anything.
Yeah, I really do try to avoid playing shit that, like, because at this point, I know what I like. I know what I'm about,
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm incapable of being disappointed, but also
Sure.
Nothing's jumping out at me of like, no, this was really bad. I'm kind of angry at one game right now, but I want to see where it goes. But worst game I've played this year. I mean, technically, I did play Bubsy 3D this year, so, and that game's terrible.
That game does indeed suck butt.
Yeah, so Bubsy 3D. It's not the first time I've played it, but I did play it because it was on the collection. So
yeah. So you had to.
Mm-hmm.
My boyfriend Joey would like to know, Chris, what's your perspective pertaining to the implications of quantum computing?
It has something to do with the overriding significance of the spin quantum orbital, but honestly, I don't think this is the right venue for me to answer the question. Nor am I smart enough, so I'm going to say 7.
7? Yeah, I mean,
my
I suppose
favorite moments in all of high school were at drama practice, and me and my friend Jed are sitting in the back of the room doing our homework, while our teacher, Mr. Garrison, I love Mr. G, he was the best. He was, directing people on stage, and we're in the back doing our homework, and Jed's doing his, like, I don't know, science homework or something, and he keeps asking Mr. G these questions, and he's like, Mr. G, I got to ask you about this. He asks him one of the questions on homework. He's like, "What is the overriding significance of the spin quantum orbital?" And Mr. G turns around and is like, "Who the fuck cares?"
Out fucking standing. Love that. Well done,
because
Mr.
really,
G.
who cares? Who the fuck cares?
The fuck cares, Jed?
What is the overriding significance of the spin quantum orbital? Who the fuck cares? Good times.
I think we're all fucked. That would be where I'm at with that. My boyfriend's girlfriend, Cass, then asks, Do you believe, Kris, and I'm actually kind of curious as to your response to this, do you believe that aliens walk among us?
No, not that I don't believe that they could. I just don't believe that there are any aliens that would come
dumb
here
enough to still be here.
And I'm not trying to be like facetious or funny or anything. I don't believe that there is an alien species that could be advanced enough for interstellar travel that would walk among human beings and say, this is worth any of our time. I think any species that would come to this planet and take a look at what we have, what we are, this society, they'd be like, music is pretty great. There's a lot of interesting art here, but everything else is absolutely terrible. We need to get away from this as quickly as possible. And get as far away from this shit as possible. Goodbye.
Fuck, man, it makes me sad because that's probably the right answer. Because, I definitely think, right, I believe in it's such a weird thing. Do you believe in aliens? Yeah, obviously, of course.
Space is infinite. How could we be the only life in it?
And how, I remember I had when I was in 7th grade, we had a gym teacher at my middle school. And she came up to me one day, and I was wearing an Alien Workshop, which was a skateboard company back in the 90s. And it had just a picture, on the chest of the shirt, and it had a picture of, the standard gray alien under it. And she came up to me, and and it said "believe" under it, right? And she came up to me and she was like, do you actually believe in aliens? And I was like, yeah, I mean, I guess I do. I've never really considered. I'm fucking 12. I don't know. It's a cool shirt. It says "believe" on it. It's a skateboard company. And her response then was the universe is infinite. To think we are the only intelligent life is one, fucking boring, right? What a boring, in the vast expanses of everything, it's just this fucking pale blue dot, Mr. Sagan. This is it. One, that's incredibly boring, and two, it's so fucking cocky. It's the cockiest thing that you could possibly fucking imagine. So yeah, I really do. I believe that there have been aliens among us and whatever. I think you're probably right though. Because I think in 10 years, we're going to look back on where we are and be like, oh my God, can you believe we were fucking arguing about that shit? Jesus, none of that matters. I really hope that's where we get to anyway.
Well, I hope so too.
And then finally, Cass asks, just to, because she knows the show, does size matter? Yes, to a point. It has to. Not for everything, but yeah.
In relation to what specifically?
A dick. Kris, this is very obviously a question about does size matter with the dick. But I would argue the human anatomy is what it is. So if you're rocking a fucking 10-inch dong, it's just, you're not doing much with that. You're not doing much more than any of the rest of us are doing because the anatomy, it's not that long. Have you ever, think about the actual act. Where is it going? You're not getting all of that in there. And if you are, other things are happening. So yes, look, it does matter. There's either too much. There's obviously too little. Those are medical conditions. We're not picking on anybody, obviously, right? I would argue not being a woman and never having been penetrated. that the range is probably okay for the most part. I would argue too big is way more of a problem.
Look, I also am not a woman and have not been penetrated. But I would have to assume
that's not true, Chris.
Things,
let's not lie to the listeners.
Not consciously. I don't know what you do to me in my sleep.
Gross.
I would assume, like most things, it's going to come down to personal preference.
Sure.
Like, I'm sure there are women that would be like, absolutely, give me all 10 inches. Give me 12 if you got them. And then other women would look at it and be like, yeah, no, I don't know even what I'd do with all that. Give me a nice 5, give me a 4. Shit.
Yeah.
Like, who knows? I think it really all comes... Size does matter, but not... Size, of course, matters, but it comes down to preference. It's not a universal bigger is better kind of a thing.
Yeah,
and
I think...
coming from someone hung like a Tic Tac, so...
I think the damage that porn has done to most of us, most of you, some of us are professionals, is really upsetting. It's that unrealistic expectation. Anyway,
I've
let's
got
see.
one more Discord one before you get the trash man, right?
Okay, yeah.
All right, last one in the Discord is from Duroc Pig. If you could assemble a dream team of designers like Square did with Chrono Trigger, who would be your gaming dream team and what kind of game would it be?
Oh my God. Can I get back to you next week on that one? I would really need to think.
Yeah, I do. I do feel like that requires a decent amount of thought. But my dream team right now, off the top of my head, would be... a new 2D Sonic the Hedgehog game made by the Super Mario Bros. Wonder team with a combination of Rainbow Dragon Eyes and David Wise working together on the soundtrack. Because I think that would just be so completely bonkers.
Yeah.
But somebody who respects what makes old Sonic games good, making something of high quality, and just such a strange combination of soundtrack, but also, David Wise, Rainbow Dragon Eyes would bring that modern flavor, right? That's the guy who did The Messenger and Sea of Stars, would bring that modern, like, high energy, and then David Wise would kind of ground it in that old school style, but also that very joyful, almost natural music that used to be in the Genesis style Sonic games. It wasn't always like ultra cool. There was also that sense of boppiness to it. I would want a team like the Super Mario Brothers Wonder team with a direction, like working under Sega to be like, this is what a Sonic game is, but then applying their degree of creativity and polish. And I think that would be incredible. Basically, Nintendo and Sega working together to make
fix Sonic.
a actual good Sonic.
I
really cool.
want to put the Vampire Survivors team in a room with Shigeru Miyamoto and a bunch of fucking speed and just see what happens.
You are tasked with making the next Echo the Dolphin.
Whatever, I would fucking play that one. They would come out with like some weird fucking Pikmin survivors, and it'd be like the best fucking shit ever. Yeah. That
really does that's just off the top of my head. That really does require some thought.
Yeah,
because Chrono Trigger is just lightning in a bottle, and I would love to really think that one through. Great question. All right, it's getting fucking late. Cap us off, Dan. Give us a trash man or two.
We'll go through a couple. We'll see what the wheel gives us. First one, do you think CDs will have a resurgence like LPs have had? Absolutely not. I don't think so. That said, I did not think we would be paying this much money for LPs now. So
I think they're already headed in that direction. You're already seeing a resurgence of people buying CDs. People have been buying audio cassettes and that's like the worst format ever.
It is, but like, there's not a discernible difference, I don't think, between a CD and a digital file.
Except
those
that it's a
two
physical
sound
thing.
the same.
Exactly, but it's a CD is a physical thing that's got a booklet. It's got the physical CD. I own this physical version of this, which is where that comes from. It's the want to be able to physically own my music without doing a giant fucking record player and dealing with the actual insanity that is audio cassettes. So, and you're already starting to see it. Lots of bands are starting to release their music on CD and vinyl.
That's wild.
In ways that they didn't used to, because there's a market for it.
What's the best way to consume shrimp? Bacon wrapped, fried, cocktail sauce, other. Bacon wrapped. Ron Swanson was right.
Yes. Fried shrimp that is wrapped in bacon and fried shrimp that's wrapped in bacon and dipped in cocktail sauce. Fucking top that. Yeah. Jesus.
I am sure you have an answer to this question, Chris. What's your favorite tree? Did we ask this one? We might have.
What's my favorite tree? We did. Yes, we did. We talked about this one.
Japanese maple. Still.
There's a tree across the street from my house. That's my favorite tree.
Yeah. Let me see. Nope, we already answered that. How the fuck did I get a question? I have so many questions on this wheel that I can't even delete them properly, and I rolled a dupe. Interesting question, since you did this last year. Do you have any thoughts on what you might be for Halloween this year?
Something that doesn't involve shaving my beard. I mean, I did do this. I shaved this off. I'm down to the goatee right now, which... I had considered keeping the full beard this year, but I kind of missed, the sides of my face a little bit. So I decided to give it a go. I might grow it back. I might not. I'm actually kind of happy with the way I look right now. What would I be for Halloween this year? I don't know. I haven't dressed up a whole lot. I like doing really stupid costumes, like, getting a big foam finger, the big number 1 on it, and do a hat that says ceilings on it and a t-shirt that says ceilings on it and be like, I'm a ceiling fan. Like that kind of dumb shit, but I haven't thought of anything that stupid yet, so I really don't know. I don't have any plans, but dressing up in something absolutely insane, I don't know that I'm going to do that again this year. There was a lot of work getting the Demon Hunter's costume together, and it was absolutely worth it. But, my kids are... I think that was kind of the last year I'm going to be able to do something like that that's really going to mean something to Ellie. And I'm okay with it. I don't love dressing up in costumes, so it's just something if something comes up that I think is going to make either of my kids really happy, then I will really consider it. But for the most part, I think I might be more or less done, unless I can think of something else really stupid, clever, like a ceiling fans or a witch doctor or something.
I think, to also continue to copy from Ron Swanson, I would like to have my Halloween costume. I would just like to,
This is the one that I do, yeah.
This is the thing I do, like I'm Brody or Quint from Jaws. You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to shave. I'm bald. I could put a wig on. You know what I mean? But, I need to have, a bearded something. I don't know. I haven't dressed up in fucking forever. Not for Halloween. I mean, obviously for other things. But Halloween, no. Yeah, I would like to have a Halloween costume. But I think I have gotten to a question here that is a good question, I think, maybe to end on. You tell me if you think this is the right one to end on. When was, as a concept or culture, gaming still pure for you?
Pure?
Yeah, I mean, take that however you want that to mean.
The 16-bit generation.
Okay. Why?
It was, Super Nintendo versus Genesis for the most part, and there was some TurboGrafx and some Neo Geo in there. But it was all competition in like everything was still everyone's console was demonstrably different from the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
You know, once we got to PlayStation versus Saturn versus N64, the line started to blur, right? Like 64 games looked different from PlayStation games, but it wasn't as stark a difference. Specifically, like, you know, Saturn games versus PlayStation games. We were starting to get to the point where assets would look and sound pretty much the same, right? CD-based stuff. And obviously, like, the following generation was when that was, like, full-on, like, okay, the Xbox versus GameCube versus PS2 version of this game are almost identical. 16-bit was the last generation where every console had its fully and completely unique feel to it. You could make the same exact game on Super Nintendo or Genesis or TurboGrafx or even Neo Geo. You could make the same game, and there would be no way to make it nearly identical. There's always going to be this very specific flavor to it because those consoles were their own unique animals. And I think that was when gaming was the most pure, because that was when the competition was the most real. It was, well, we need to do the best that we can with this hardware, not, you know, it's all there. Games started becoming very similar cross platforms because they just started being more like computers, and everything, you know, we were capable of very similar things across the board, just with a slightly different twinge to them. You know, back then it just wasn't like that. They each had a personality. The controllers were wildly different from one another. You know, it's just there was a whole bunch of uniqueness to it that each system had, and I think it was lost after that. I think there was no way to keep it around after that. That's just the way technology worked. But I think that was the last time that we really had that purity.
That is a really well thought out answer.
I thank you.
I think the last time that gaming was still pure for me was today. I think it always has been. I think there's always aspects of it that are still just that level of pure joy, because there are just times where I just wrote about it for the site, right, for Stone Age Gamer, with Mini Shoot Adventures, where I do not have time to put 9 to 10 hours into a game in the span of 2 days or 3 days, like I did when I was a kid, right? When that idea, like, usually when you think of like when were things pure for you, it's like it goes back to like childhood a lot, I think, and that sort of thing. But then I sat down with Mini Shoot Adventures as a 45-year-old man, and all of the things that come with that as a father, as a husband, as a, you know, throw all the labels on top of it, as a this thing, a that thing, a cancer survivor, all of those things. Just in case you forgot, I did that too. A
lover, you know, a poet,
a mother, a poet, all of those things. But all of that shit that has come into your life. And then I sat here, and that game just totally fucking invaded my life for a few days, for that 9 to 10 hours. And it was absolutely pure and exactly the same as it was when I was a kid. Because I think that's kind of the magic of this particular hobby, is that there are experiences that can absolutely just get in there and fucking take hold the way it did when you were a child. And like so many of the other things that we enjoyed as children and now focus on the adult version of it, right? Or try to participate with it in the same way I think of things of like sports card collecting, right? We talked about it in Week Old News of like what has happened to the collectibles market. You know what I mean? I'm super, super happy with this fucking AC Factory Hayabusa, you know, Ninja Gaiden figure that I bought. Look at it. You're not on YouTube, all of you, but this thing's fucking gorgeous. It's great. It was like $20, but it's a knockoff. Like I understand that it, like, I purposely sought out the knockoff version because, oh my God, I almost dropped it and everything almost made me really sad in my pants. The official version is like prohibitively expensive, and trying to go buy sports cards and shit is fucking crazy expensive. Pokemon is fucking absurd. You know, all that shit. But then Mini Shoot Adventures happened, and I was like, oh, fuck. Like, just didn't even realize. You know, there are so few things I think in my life right now where I could be like, oh, fuck, I've been doing this for 5 hours. Holy shit, I gotta stop. I have other things I gotta go do. You know? So I would argue that gaming is as pure to me now as it ever has been. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Solid answer. Well, that's it. That's all we have time for. This has been a long one. That's what she said. And in this instance,
no, she
size
didn't.
does
We
matter.
just discussed that.
Size does, in fact, matter right here. This exact period of time. So we're going to wrap things up. That is it for us. Join us next time for realsies when we bring you the next installment of SAG Standouts. We'll be talking about the Vectrex, and this week I will do my absolute gosh dangdest to make sure I spend some time playing the Vectrex. I think I've got my week planned around being able to do that. So with that said, we're on most social media platforms, and if you want to get in touch with us, we aren't very difficult to find. All it takes is a quick look at our show notes, and you'll see links to our social media accounts, as well as all manner of other fun stuff, like a link to our namesake, StoneAgeGamer.com, and more useful links than you can shake a joystick at. If you'd like to get early access to this show's episodes, as well as a bevy of other shows in the Geekade Podcast Network, check out our Patreon, also linked to in the show notes. It helps keep this show running week after week, and all our patrons are loved and appreciated. This show's theme song, Squared Roots, was written by Banjo Guy Ali. You can learn all about his wonderful music and more by following the link to his YouTube channel, also in the show notes. And finally, as always, we'd like to thank our intrepid editor, Evan, for making the show listenable for all you folks. I'd like to thank all you folks for listening in the first place. That is it. On behalf of Dan and myself, keep playing games.